Oh shit, no. Hang on, oh shit. I need to change that. Need to edit the name. So anyway, Bill, how are you, mate, before we start? Yeah? Who's? Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun, mate. Well, better tell Phil to link up the stream, haven't I, before we get going properly. And I suppose we better start with Man City, hadn't we, last night, I think? Yeah, we're live now, mate. Sorry. Yeah, he does that. It's Pep though, isn't it? Let's be honest. He does this. He second guesses everything rather than just getting on with it. Oh, I fucking hope so, but I'm not so sure about that. They're one of those times, one of those teams, that can just get lucky. They just do, and they're terrible, but then score. Not hearing anyone but Chris. Oh, hang on. Sorry, mate. Sorry, Stephen. I'll check the inputs down. Oh, can't be having that then. Why are we not hearing you? It says you're on. Good job we started running. Ah, it's on default. Hang on, that's why. No, it's because it's gone off that one. Let's see if that works now. Can you speak down, Billy? See if we can hear you.
Right, okay. Can you hear me now? No, mine's not flashing, Tris. Oh, it is now. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. It's whether they can. It's because it's a different. It has to go through OSB.
All right.
So.
Let's see if mine's coming on now. Yeah, mine's coming on that I'm talking.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
But it should be coming through theirs as well, unless I need to press something else.
No, it's not your end, mate. It's the setup now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Billy, is it? So Billy is there. So does that mean he can hear you, or? Yeah, he can hear you now, mate. Sorry,
Okay.
So we've just wasted the whole conversation there where you were telling us all about.
That's okay. Yeah,
It's like a
just talking about.
It's like a conversation with your wife, Bill. Nobody was listening.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just saying about City that they blew at the last hurdle again, and although I feel sorry for them, you can't really, because they made tactical errors in that game. He should have went out and killed the game for me. They contained, and they've done really well at containing. And they never had a shot on target for 90 minutes. City had a couple of really good chances, but in the end, bringing on the likes of Jack Grealish to try and kill a game isn't the brightest idea that I've ever heard of. And he led into very poor goals for me. And Ederson hardly covered himself in glory. And in the end, they just couldn't get back. He bottled it at the end. He still had time in extra time. He had 26, 27 minutes, but never even got near for me. Like,
when he starts second guessing himself, it's bizarre, isn't it, to lose it. I don't understand him. Why? He's an intelligent man. He clearly knows his football.
yeah.
But he has this tendency to just try and be too clever, and I don't understand it.
But it's not as if it's happened once, is it, or twice. It's happened a few times in finals and semi-finals. You can't seem to get them over the line. I don't know whether that's the makeup of the players. I doubt that, because they've got some fantastic talents. But, are the bottlers, these don't seem to have won as much as they should have for me. I think they're next. Them and Liverpool are fantastic teams. Two of the best in Europe and the world. And they just don't seem to have that killer instinct for me.
Well, he did the same at Bayern, and he took over that team. What's his name? Oh my God, I've forgotten his name now. The previous coach, whose name's completely escaped me, even though I've just read his name about 20 seconds ago as well. That's all. Yeah, he took over the team anyway. They just won the treble, hadn't they? To the previous.
Yeah.
And then he made it crap. He turned it into a crap. Well, not crap. That's not fair. I'm exaggerating, but he made them worse, is what I was trying to say. Even though they had more Heinkes, that's it. It was your Heinkes, wasn't it? Yeah, he made them worse. He took over that fantastic team. They were brilliant, the best team in the world at the time. And he turned them into just the best team in Germany. And they were nowhere near anyone in Europe. It doesn't help, to be fair. It doesn't help him at Bayern. It didn't help him that he had no competition. So in the league, it was always won with months to spare. So they were just playing friendly games basically. That's the problem I think Real Madrid are going to have over the next few weeks. Is they've got nothing to play for. So they're not going to have the intensity in their game, and they're suddenly going to have to raise it. Raise their game for the final, and that might catch them out. Might do.
Yeah. They've got some very good players, haven't they, Madrid? But they're a team of individuals, aren't they? They're not much of a unit. And Benzema's on fire. I like that. Vinicius, the winger, he's a really good player. And that Rodri who come on for them yesterday, he looks a bit of a player. But as I say, they're all individuals and don't really play great as a team, even though they've got Modric in the side who got hooked.
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the Madrid way, though. It's always about individual greats rather than teams.
Yeah.
It's just the way they are. Sometimes that's why they win big games like that more often, more than others, because those are the games when the big players turn up, don't they?
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be an interesting final, but I'd be very surprised if Liverpool didn't win.
oh God, I hope so, but I'm not even going to try.
I know you don't take Kempton face.
Oh,
You
I'm not
don't
even
like
gonna,
it.
especially not as Abid's probably going over to Paris.
Yeah, it should be a good day out for them, no? And good luck to them. I hope they win it now.
Yeah, just please, God, let Abid not make it. Please. You know what? The first time we went over, we blew it. The second time we went over, there was a thing, he arranged to go over, there was a freaking pandemic. Then he went over to Abu Dhabi to see the Grand Prix last year, see Lewis Hamilton win the F1 championship, and of course, they even deliberately made sure he didn't win just because Hamilton was there. That's how much of a jinx he is. So I'm not feeling confident. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I think you should be. If you had the choice, Tris, I've asked a few lads this when we went out to see the Villarreal game and that. And I was asking them what they'd take, the Premiership or the European Cup. And there was 9 of us out, 9 Liverpoolians out with us. And 8 of them said Premier League rather than the Champions League.
If I had to choose between one or the other, I'd take the Premier League every time,
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it'd been closer than that.
No,
because it's still a prestigious trophy, isn't it? No.
The Champions League's more prestigious, but the Premier League is what is the thing. That's what Liverpool. That's how they be. You know what I mean? That's what we were created to do. Well, actually, we were created to be better than Everton, but that's similar. No, that's
well, you're there at the moment.
Yeah, that's what John Holden set it up to do. Did you know that? Because you shafted. Well, he would say he was shafted by Everton, by the Everton when they went off to build the stadium, went off to Goodison Park and just left him with an empty stadium. He believes he was shafted, so he set up Liverpool FC just specifically to be better than Everton.
All right.
Yeah, he seems to have done a good job of it, to be fair, as well.
Certainly not a bad job.
Yeah.
No, they're looking so good, aren't they, in every competition? It's hard to see them losing a game at the moment. They just seem to be on top. And when you buy players, it doesn't take them long to bed in. This new lad Diaz that they brought in, he looks a hell of a player, doesn't he? I don't know how he was starting before Josh, to be honest.
I started my before Jota myself. He's great. Fine to come off the bench to score a goal, but I don't think he's a good player to start.
Yeah.
Too many
I think the switch of Mane to the middle has been amazing, because Diaz plays on the left and he looks good on the left, doesn't he? Salah looks good on the right, and Mane's just fitted right, and he goes back and wins the ball. He's not just a centre forward. He's been excellent. He's been excellent.
Absolutely love him. And that first touch, that first touch the other day when he jumped up and controlled it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one. You only have to. That is just a thing of beauty.
Yeah.
I don't think I can remember seeing a better first touch in any game ever.
I'm a big fan of that Diaz. Big fan of Diaz. He looks to have fitted in seamlessly, doesn't he? Looks as though he's been there for years.
And I love the way he doesn't take. You know what I mean? If he gets kicked, he just gets up, gets on with it. There's no, There's no, he might look at the referee like as if to say, well, when we bring in free kick, but then when if he's not got it, he's already up and chasing again to win the ball back, rather than just sitting there and complaining.
Yeah. Did you watch the Villarreal game, Tris? Liverpool, Villarreal.
I've seen highlights. Obviously, I couldn't really watch it because I'm not watching them. But,
all right, okay.
Remember, I'm
very poor.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You still turn it around, don't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. They never have the game, are they? You know, the way they play, the way they press. But first half, they're pretty poor. As poor as I've seen them for a long while. And two of your better players for me, the two fullbacks, which had shockers in the first half.
Oh,
but
yeah.
do you know what? They've always got the ability to come back, and they absolutely stroll the second half. Like.
And Diaz makes a huge difference, doesn't he? Bring him on.
Yeah, doesn't he? Yeah, I was disappointed with Naby. I thought he meant to chuck him off a bit earlier than what he did. He was poor, Naby. But
you know I'm not a fan of Naby, Peter.
No, I know you're not a fan of Naby.
I know he's improved, but I'm sorry, but he's still nowhere near good enough for me. He wouldn't get in it. He wouldn't get in the team for me. Not even near it now. Not in this room.
No, yeah. But see, Klopp's got the bench where he can change it, hasn't he? You know, to bring like Jota off and put the likes of Diaz on, it's a great tactical switch. But it's bringing on a great player, isn't it? He's hardly a substitute, is he? He's a first team player that's come on, you know.
Oh, he's fantastic. I love Diaz. You just get this buzz when the ball's going near him. You just start getting excited, waiting for him to do something. I can't remember the last time. I think Joe Barnes was the last time I remember a player being, having that kind of aura about him when he played for Liverpool. And that's even, we've got Salary, the best player in the world this season, for most of the season, but still, Diaz is just something incredible about him.
He seems to be everyone's favourite at the moment. Out of all my mates, I go and watch Liverpool all the time. Because all my mates go and watch the game, and I go with them. But he seems to be the favourite now. To hear them talk. It's all about Diaz. When it was about Salah, it's more about Diaz now.
Yeah, I mean, I love Salah, and what he's done has been fantastic. But Diaz has got some. You can't help but love Diaz. He's just. It's everything about him. His attitude just is so refreshing in this day of Premier League players constantly whining and rolling over and over and over, complaining for hours, slapping the floor rather than getting up and get on with it. It's just so nice to see a player that just wants to play.
Wasn't he supposed to go to Tottenham at one point?
Well, at one point he was supposed to go to Everton, but he didn't want to go there.
Everton.
Yeah,
no, obviously.
Understandable, right? But it turned out the right choice. I mean, could you imagine? I don't think he'd have been in this much trouble, though, would you, if you designed him? Honestly, would you?
No, but he's got good players around him, hasn't he? So that helps. He gets Davis, and he's got Robbo down the side to give him the ball and lay it up and give 1-2 with him, and the likes of Fabinho who can come inside to get the ball off him, and good men to pass to as well. He wouldn't have had that at Everton, so maybe he wouldn't have been as good at Everton as what he wants to say.
Yeah, I get what you. I was just thinking, can you imagine being a right back?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want to face those.
He's got pace as well, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's got good pace. Really good pace, yeah.
When I saw his face, when we faced his team earlier on in the Champions League, and I watched him then, I thought this lad has got something special about him.
Did he come from Porto? Did he just?
Yeah, we played him earlier in the season. He was the only player. The only player from them that looked even half decent, to be honest. And he caused so many problems. I thought if only he had something in the middle. But when you watch his highlights, what really impresses me about him, it's not his pace, it's not his, his skill and that. What really impresses me about him is his vision and his passing. He plays some beautiful balls. He's got them. For me, I think he is going to be the best in the world. And there'll be no arguments to him.
I wouldn't doubt that for 1 minute. He does look a talent.
Yeah,
I like his attitude, though. Do you? I know I've always said this about Klopp. Seen an interview with Klopp and years ago, a few years ago, and he said that when he looks at a player, he looks at the character, and more than what skill they've got. He looks at the type of person they are. How good they are. He likes religious players mainly because I'd say the disciplined side of it, and that's why I'm surprised he went for Keita if he was his choice. But the other players, they've all got good attitudes, and they're never beaten, and they all play for the shirt, and it's a great attribute to have, isn't
it? That's what I like about Klopp, is he doesn't just say, look at them on the pitch and say he looks good, we'll sign him. He does his, that was how Liverpool always used to operate. He always used to research the background of the players. He used to always, when Jeff 20 was their scout, what he used to do is, as well as scouting them, he wouldn't go in and scout them by sitting in with the sitting in with in the scout, in the press box or anything like that. He'd go and watch them in away games with the away fans, because they tended to be the ones that would follow them everywhere. So that they'd be and talk to them about the player, find out what he's like, has he been up to mischief and stuff like that. Then he'd go and talk to the family, and he'd get to know the family, and he'd get to know people, friends of the players and things like that. You know what I mean? He did full-on research on the players he was scouting.
Yeah. I remember reading about Brian Clough was the same, with players when he was signing players. He'd meet with the mother and father first, before he signed them.
A lot of that was down to bullying, mate. That was down to him just going in and bullying them into making their son sign.
All right. I read about him that he wanted to meet the parents.
I know one player who he literally just turned up at the house and refused to leave until he signed for them. Turned up at the parents' house, he still lived in the parents' house, right? And he just literally turned up and leave until the lad had signed for him. Things like that. I mean, you couldn't do it now, what he did.
No. Do you think that the way his Basuma has played, has been acting, do you think Liverpool have cooled on him because of his attitude?
Yeah, everyone has, mate. Because that's why he's still there. He wouldn't have been there. If it hadn't been for his off-field issues.
Yeah, he was well touted, wasn't he, to go to a lot bigger club than Brighton. It's all fell through with that case. Yeah.
Fabulous player. I mean, when he plays for them, you see the difference in their play.
Yeah. But you don't want a bad egg, do you?
No.
You really don't.
No, you definitely don't want someone who's that kind of thing's a bit. That's going a bit beyond the pale. Mind, then again, clubs still paying people like Ched Evans, and nobody seems to care.
Yeah.
And that keeper that killed kids in a car accident, remember when he was drunk? He still managed to get teams.
Yeah.
And David Goodwillie, he was convicted. Well, he was got done in court as a rapist, even though it wasn't a criminal court, because obviously it's a different, difficult to prove. But he still managed to have no trouble getting a team. In fact, when he left the team he was at, the fans were upset because he left and were desperate to get him back. I mean, I'll be funny, but I'd be the opposite. If my team had a rapist, I wouldn't go and watch them on study.
No, you've got to have morals on you. You're not going to have morals in all walks of life.
I don't get, there's certain things you just can't say. I know they give second chances and all that. People make mistakes, but that's, there's some things that are just unforgivable, aren't they?
Yeah, very much so.
You just can't have someone like that at your club, can you?
No, you can't. No. So, big game for West Ham tonight, Tris. Frankfurt are playing, aren't they?
Yeah, that is a big game for West Ham, because it's a semi-final, isn't it? And Rangers as well, aren't they playing tonight?
Yeah. I know West Ham are 2-1 down, and they're away at Frankfurt, which isn't going to be easy, even though their own form is absolutely shocking. It's as bad as Everton's. But they still fancy the chances. I was listening to an interview with David Moyes today, and he's still very confident of going through, even though they're one down and away from home.
Well, isn't it Frankfurt that has a have a record of failing at the last minute as well? They're a bit like Pep in Europe these days.
Yeah. They've only won 3 home games all season, or 3 or 4 home games all season. The lowest in the league, and they're still right up there.
Yeah, so you see why West Ham fancy their chances though. And Rangers are one down as well, but they're at home, so that's
Who are they playing? They playing Roma.
No, RB Leipzig. That's Leicester.
Oh, right,
okay. Roma, isn't it? That's tonight.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting mixed up.
Obviously, Leicester are away to Roma. It's 1-1 there. So, what do you reckon? Do you reckon any of them will get through? Any of the British sides?
I'd like to see Rangers through, to be honest with you.
Would you?
They've had a bit of I'd like to see Rangers go through. West Ham, I could take or leave West Ham, although I think they've got some really good players, mainly because of the dislike of David Moyes.
Do you not like him? Because I've got sorry, I'm just going to say, my auntie, obviously, she worked at Everton up until she retired recently through ill health. And she worked at Everton for like 40 odd years or something like that. And she absolutely loves Moyes. He was so good around the club. You know what I mean? Everyone knew him. He was friendly with all the staff, and they all the staff love him there. So,
I just didn't like the way he went from Everton. That's my big gripe with him. I didn't mind him up until then. I didn't think he was going to take us far, but now looking in hindsight, it would have been better if he stayed probably.
Well, you were stuck in a rut, but was there anywhere else you could go? Could you improve? I don't know. I mean, he had taken you as far as he could take you, but was that as far as the club was capable of going at the time, is the question.
It was. What would he have done with the money of Shearer? He might have done a little bit better, mightn't he, But that's all in hindsight now. And he thought he had the job to come back before Ancelotti was given the job. He was promised it. And I was talking to Tony Bellew, and he said he was with Moyes, and he said, I've got the Everton job. And he'd been promised it and by Kenwright. And at the end, Ancelotti comes up and, he's going to be your first pick, isn't he? So I believe Moyes was very, very disappointed.
Yeah, see, I would have thought Moyes was a better choice for Everton than Ancelotti. I just don't. I know Ancelotti's won lots of things, but if you look at his record with the teams he's had, I don't think he's won as much as he should have done. If you see what I mean.
Possibly.
You look at the league, some of the the league trophies in particular he's missed out on. He's better in the cups because he doesn't have to, the players are up on their own. They don't have to, he doesn't have to get them up for it. But when you watch him against,
and he comes with a lot of baggage, doesn't he? His lad and his team around him. I don't think they're as good as Ancelotti, but he does come with a bit of baggage.
I just think he's very negative as well. I mean, he has the great team. That team that faced Liverpool in 2005 that should have stomped on Liverpool easily. But at 3-0, they'd given up. They'd won. You know what I mean? They were out. They got the cigars out, and that cost them. And it's the way he plays. I think he's just got. I think that's the problem for me. He's too negative. He should have kept going. Just keep going at Liverpool. We were going to fall. Have a good side then. Jimmy Traore at left back. I mean, come on, Champions League. If anyone ever says, anyone ever says that the amount of trophies you win is how good a player you are, just has to say Jimmy Traore is a Champions League trophy. It's not true. It's a team game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, who do you think will go through out of them? Do you think West Ham, Tris?
I think that's a tough one. I think Frankfurt are not very good though, are they?
I think they're having trouble scoring goals. That's their problem, West Ham, for me. They haven't been scoring a lot of goals lately. And the lad up front, who's the lad up front?
Antonio.
Antonio, yeah. He seems to have gone off the boil. He's a handful in any game, but he seems to have gone off the boil of actually putting the ball in the net. And I think they might struggle to score tonight. I hope they don't. I hope they go through. And I hope Rangers go through. Man, I'd love Leicester to go through as well, you know. The more British teams there, the better.
Do you think so? See, I think it's. I'd like to see the underdogs win. But obviously Rome and Leicester, that's which one's the underdog there, I'm not sure there. I don't really I'm not a big Brendan Rodgers as a person, I dislike. So I'm not really, but I don't like, I don't want Mourinho to do well either.
No, I'm not fun, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we've got, the big one now is I don't want RB Leipzig to go through. I really don't want them to go through. I don't like what they stand for, the Red Bull things. Well, the whole Red Bull thing is just a manufactured set of clubs, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I don't like it. They're not real, you know what I mean? They're not big, they're not proper, it's just like, there's something that it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like proper football, you know what I mean? It's a company rather than a club, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean, yeah. It's
a franchise.
It's Red Bull. Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I don't like that, clubs should win rather than franchises.
Yeah, I get that.
So, I'm not particularly bothered whether Rangers or anyone else wins there, but I'd just rather not RB Leipzig. I'd rather they didn't make it in there at all. So.
No, right.
They're not well liked in Germany as well.
Aren't they now?
No, there's always protests against them every game. The opposing fans hate them.
Yeah.
Oh, detest them, mate. Because they don't follow this, the 50+1 thing, where they have to have over 50% of ownership to the fans. They're one of the very few that aren't owned over 50% by fans. So.
Yeah, I can see why people would have take umbrage with them. But I hope the British teams have a good night tonight. More there, the better for me. But I don't think it's going to be easy for any of them.
Are you hoping there'll be more places to qualify for Everton next season?
Yeah.
First you have to stay in the league.
Absolutely we do. So and that was massive for us last week. If we lost that, I think we were down. I still think we've got a really good chance of going down. But you called it last week over Leeds, and they seem to have big problems at the moment.
I'm not a fan of Marsh.
No, I know you don't like Jesse.
No, I don't think he didn't impress me with RB. He didn't look a good manager there, so I'm very surprised he's got another job. And I don't think he's, the team they've got isn't that good. Let's be honest, Leeds team.
No, they've got a few good individuals, haven't they? Rafinha, Phillips is a good player, but they haven't got much else.
Most of their team is struggling, we're struggling in the Championship before Bielsa arrives.
Yeah.
I can see them it could be a real struggle, but I thought they had enough points on board that they might get away with it, but now it seems like Everton might just do it. It's the dog, I'm telling you, mate, it's that dog. He just needs to get into the next game.
Yeah, make him manager, I say.
Well, he couldn't do any frigging worse, could he? Got to be better than Lampard. I mean, at least he might have some tactical acumen.
Yeah. I think he's a bit marmite at the moment, Frank. Some love him, some hate him. And, I'd like to see him do alright because I think he's a good person. But
Do you?
I don't think he's the. Yeah, I
You
do,
don't-
yeah. I think he's a nice
you-
person.
You're
But
looking
when
to
I
his
read his
past, mate.
speak and
Seriously, he's done a few things that, like, that wouldn't be acceptable in this day. Certain videos were around on the net many years ago when he was a youngster, and he was in a lot of trouble when he first moved to Chelsea.
was he? Yeah, never,
yeah,
never
he's-
seen
he's
anything
not-
like that.
He's not a nice lad at all, he wasn't.
He comes across as a nice guy, I'll be honest with you.
No, I'm not.
Co-
Don't like him at all. There's a few sex tapes and that of him about, and they aren't nice.
All right.
You know what I mean? With the, the way
All
he
right.
treats women and that.
Yeah, I remember you saying you think Sean Dyche should do well at Everton, Chris.
I still think you missed the trick not going for him, mate. We should have got him last season in the summer.
Yeah, I think he'd have gone because he was promised money by the owners who shafted him in the end, and I don't know whether he'd have come at that time.
No,
It looked as though he was going to get his wish, which was money to spend, improve the squad, improve the way he played.
Yeah, but in the
Just
summer,
never
he was-
comes to
there was-
fruition.
no, in the summer they were still fighting. That's why they didn't spend anything. Like, and they said, they didn't agree a deal until later on, after the window was shut. Which, to me, now looking at it, seems like it's a bit suspect when you look at their accounts and that have come out. I think the
Yeah,
old thing's,
yeah.
I think the old thing's a bit of a dodgy deal they've got going on there. I think they've been,
Yeah.
I think they're in a bit of trouble, Burnley, under this new ownership. Don't think they've got what they wanted
Yeah.
at all.
Do you think that's why they appointed Jesse Marsh? Because the American
That's Leeds.
factor.
We're talking
Oh,
about
sorry,
Leeds.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, but yes, that is why he's Jesse Marsh got appointed, because he's American. It's San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, sorry, I'm
so
getting mixed up
part of
with
the club.
Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why. But that is right. You are right. It is because he's American that Jesse Marsh got the job.
Yeah, because the owners there. But who do you think, Tris, is going to go down? I know it's going to be very close. There's three teams in it, and
Norwich have gone, haven't
it
they?
could be anyone. Yeah, I mean, I expect Watford to go as well. But I think the three teams, Burnley, Everton, Leeds, it's too close to call for me which one of them's going to go down.
It's a tough one. I don't know. I'm hoping Everton don't. It's like, well, it'll be hilarious for a few weeks. Laughing laughing at you and the cousins and that. That's it. Once it's gone, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The jokes. That's it. It's a bit of a laugh for a few weeks, and then it's like you want to play them again. And yeah, I don't like playing them. They, the way they play and that. We always risk injuries playing you and that. But still, the more I think about it, the more I think I'd miss the derby.
Yeah.
So it looks like Burnley have done enough to get themselves going now, though, doesn't it? And then again,
Yeah,
it could be just a new manager bounce, and they could end up, that only lasts a couple of weeks, and they've had that.
he got away with murder at Norwich, didn't he? 1-0 down and then two very late goals. Good luck to them, like, he hung in there and stayed in the game. He could have been 2 down easily against Watford. And, it put Watford basically down, that result for me.
Yeah, I think Watford, they're definitely gone, aren't they?
Yeah, I'd say so. That's a massive game for Everton at Watford, isn't it? That's their last hope, is to beat Everton. That's their only hope of staying up, is to beat Everton. And Everton's only hope of staying up is to beat Watford. So it should be a very enthralling game, but I don't think it will be football-wise.
Yeah, I was going to say, that does start it off there when it's Everton involved. And Roy Hodgson's managing Watford,
Yeah,
so they're
yeah.
not going to be an exciting watch either. It's like,
It'll
oh,
be interesting more than entertaining.
yeah. It's going to be one of those where you just, it's just going to, it's going to captivate the attention purely because of what's at stake.
What do you think about Liverpool's game, Tottenham, Chris?
Ooh, they've stood
Yeah.
in form, haven't they? Oh,
Hello?
yeah. Sorry, can you
Oh, did you lose me there for a minute?
No, you're still there. Yeah, I was just thinking it's going to be a tough one, that. They've hit form.
Yeah, yeah. You've got match winners, haven't they? And the likes of Son and Kane, they can hate you, can't they? You know, Liverpool. And I think Liverpool are the better side, obviously. But it wouldn't surprise me if that's going to be Liverpool's hardest game in the running.
I think it's going to be one of the most difficult ones. All right, Rob, you here? You in?
Morning.
Hey,
Hello, Rob.
only an hour late, mate. Oh, is he there?
What time is it in ours, Rob?
2 a.m.
Oh, the missus ain't going
2
to
a.m.?
be with you, is she?
I just woke up not long ago. Only issue is I put my headset in, and it's on 6% battery.
Oh, just making excuses now. Because the missus said you're only allowed 5 minutes to play.
So you had 2 nights of celebration, Rob. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
The game on Tuesday and the game last night must have been good to be a Liverpool supporter there, mate.
Oh, yeah. Like I said to you last week, it's a good time to be a Liverpool supporter right now. I got what I wanted by having Madrid win the Champions League game.
Yeah. Massive shock, that, wasn't it? Massive shock.
Oh,
When you were 1-0 up.
I woke up for work and I checked the score straight away and I was pretty happy. But then I actually watched what happened on my break when I went on the app and watched the highlights, and that was crazy. That was unreal.
Yeah.
You know, they had it won. You know, they had it right at the end, and you know, I can't speak on behalf of the game because I only really saw just the basic highlights. But yeah, it looked like they had it won. Conceded 2 really late goals. Sent it to extra time at the Bernabeu, which is never really going to be a good idea, and gave away the penalty and lost the game.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
Pep exit
Real
for-
Madrid's only shots on target as well?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they never had a shot on target until the 90th minute.
Did you watch the game, Chris? The whole thing?
No, I was in bed sick, mate, so...
I watched it, mate. I watched it. And, you know, City played containing football, but they were all, you know, they were the better team. They had the most chances. They had a few really good chances. I think shots on target at 19 minutes was something like 8 for Man City, none for Real Madrid.
So they did get really lucky.
Yeah, they snatched defeat out the jaws of victory, Man City. They should have won it, and they blew it. They blew it big time.
Almost. I know they made the final last year, but was it like a repeat of that?
Yeah, it was a bit of a dour game first half, and although City had chances, Madrid looked awful. You know, they never really threatened. You know, they had a couple of chances that went over the bar, but they never took the game to Man City, which I thought they would, and they were so comfortable, City, and I don't know how they blew it. I really don't know how they blew it. Pep must be tearing his hair out. What let me?
Well, he hasn't got any, has he? To be honest.
No.
I believe-
Did you watch the Liverpool game, Rob?
Ah, yes, I did.
First half,
Definitely.
he's shocking, wasn't he?
Oh, that was a really poor display in the first half.
Yeah.
But for some strange reason, I know at half time it had levelled the tie to 2-2, but I knew we had more to give than that. It was pretty clear to see Jota needed to come off and to be replaced by Diaz, who, you know, changed the game. Villarreal, they impressed me in the first half. They completely nullified us, pushed us high up, grabbed that early goal, which was very important. But yeah, look, in the sense of both ties, the better team's gone through. It sent us to a final with Real Madrid, who I think, I don't want to sound too cocky, but I do think that, you know, that in a one-tie game, especially like, we're not going back to the Bernabeu and having to deal with that almost like what City did this morning with the crowd and, you know, having a second leg at home. It's going to be that one game in Paris where the best team on the night wins, and I'm very confident that we're a lot better than Real Madrid. And I think that with what happened, was it 4 years ago now? I really think we're going to turn up. I saw Mo Salah's tweet during the day, which made me have a bit of a laugh. He'd be hanging for this game. I hope he realises there's no Sergio Ramos anymore. But nah, look, I'm very happy. I do think we'll get over the line in the final. You know, you never know what could happen, but you know, you've got a threat like Benzema, who's just for some reason scoring 40 odd goals in 40 odd games.
Well,
but I think with our defence, sorry.
I was going to say on Benzema, don't you think his problem was always Ronaldo rather than him not being good enough? He always had to subjugate himself to Ronaldo's game.
Kvaratskhelia.
And now he's
Yeah, well,
able to play his game again. He's a brilliant player. Because he's always been a great player, it's just a complete and utter knobhead.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That sounds like someone's watching The Chase.
Toby, your wife, not me.
Should be watching Coronation Street. Oh. Quick, everyone hide, Seamus is here.
Oh,
we've been graced with a special presence today. Seamus is here to talk about Man United and what they're going to win next season.
Hello, everybody.
hello, Seamus.
There you
Hey,
go.
did you miss me?
You did, yeah?
10 hours in and we haven't heard anything about it. And we know you've gutted about Ole being sacked, so that's why you went into hiding for so long.
Everybody knows that Ole is the legend.
Obviously, because he scored that one goal. That made him a legend, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh, next.
before we get on with anything, I just want to make it public that Rob is gonna buy me every Liverpool kit available, from like the top to the boots and everything. If and only if Liverpool do the quadruple.
And you've got to wear it
We
and
did
post
it.
pictures of yourself wearing them, all of them, one by one, on the site as well.
I would even go as far as saying I would do it for 7 days, a whole week.
Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, and we want pictures every day for the site. Because we want proof. You can't
Are
just
you in
say
or out?
it. Have you seen the price of the
Do you think
kids?
he's
Christ, Jesus.
No, I don't know what it costs. And forget about the price. Just think of how much it would cost to ship it over here.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Rob's panicked. His missus wouldn't let him.
Oh, Rob's missus would probably suggest a prenup after that.
He switched
Because he'd have lost everything in the shipping.
he switched his mic off because he's panicking.
He's got to charge his headphones. But, Deeps, you can get a Man United kit in England now for 18 pence. That's how much they're going for.
18
That's
pence.
too
Why are they
much.
charging so much?
Maybe it's 18 pence for the whole family. Free. Yeah, you get the whole
Get a
shebang.
season ticket with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a rip-off. 18 pence is a rip-off.
I'd want them to pay me to have the season ticket, personally.
I would probably reject the season ticket if they didn't pay me, man.
Isn't that why the Everton fans keep causing trouble? Because they want to get thrown out so they don't have to come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, don't even talk about us.
Anyways, what was the topic of discussion before I chimed in?
What were we talking? I don't know. I wasn't listening. Rob was speaking,
Well,
and he's married
the
now,
last
so
part-
you have to
the
do
last
what a
part,
married
yeah.
man.
The last part I thought was you guys were talking about Benzema and him finally
yeah.
being able to showcase his talent
Yeah,
and
but-
everything.
But I think now we've got you here, I think really we should discuss Ten Hag and Ralph Rangnick. You know what's happened to Ralph Rangnick and what you think of the Ten Hag appointment, because we haven't spoken to you since. I don't think we've spoken to you since Ole was in charge, have we?
No. I had before the pod started, I said I would probably not join, and then Rangnick was announced, and then I just jumped in.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Look
That's the
what
last.
that turned out to be.
That was the last time, wasn't it?
Probably.
Mm.
That might just have been the last time, so I have not been able to complain about any of our losses.
Mm.
So how do you think he's done, Deeps? How do you think Ralph's done?
I don't think you can judge him on his tenure right now because there were mitigating circumstances. But I would admit that he has under-delivered from my expectations. Whatever the reasons might have been, but he hasn't. We as a team haven't performed as well as I had hoped and probably expected from him.
Yeah,
But then again, I will admit that his tenure has exposed a lot of players as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Before at least they had a cushion of everybody saying it's Ole, but now it's clear and obvious that some of the players have huge ego, but they don't have huge performances.
Yeah, there's a real problem throughout the entire club, isn't there? Rather than just it was Ole. I think it's made it completely clear.
Before players had that excuse, or at least fans would come up with that, like, and I am gonna admit that I was kind of guilty as well, that most of the blame was just because Ole isn't good enough, and that however true may that have been, but it's obvious that it wasn't just Ole. Hopefully we will go under a revolution with Ten Hag, and he gets the proper backing and proper time as well, because I don't think it's going to be a quick fix.
No, you've got years ahead of you, haven't you?
No.
I think and I would, with hope in my eyes, I would see that everyone who was involved in the decision making in appointing Ole, in appointing Ten Hag, not Ole again, know that
Bring him back, I say.
sometimes it's gonna take time, and people need to remember, even with all the foundations laid for Pep, it still took him a year and almost $500 million worth of transfer to deliver a title.
And that was just the fullbacks he bought. $500 million.
Yeah, I think it's gonna need us like a Klopp approach with Liverpool. Give him time. Wait and see how much progress is being made instead of just the results.
Yeah, it's not going to be about the results. You've got to give him time. Because he's going to have to adjust the whole fitness level of the club and everything and get them pressing. And
He's got to change the attitude for me, Trish, of a lot of the players.
Completely agree. That is the most important thing. It's about the attitude.
Yeah. The likes of, you've got to get rid of players like Pogba, Greenwood, even Bruno, I'd say. I think he's got a bad attitude. But there are a few players there that need discharge them from the club, sell them on, and you've got to start again. And that's going to be a 5-year plan. No less for me. Yeah.
And how will you cope without Jesse Lingard? This is the thing. I mean, how on earth will Man United cope without him, mate?
Well, we finished second in the only season he hasn't been at the club in the last 7 or 8 years. We had the best finish in the league.
Yeah.
He's got a poor attitude for me.
Oh, yeah.
It's everybody knows that I don't have a clue or anything, but it's surely having players that don't want to be there or that want more game time but don't actually get it. It's just going to rub off everybody the wrong way. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to be careful.
But you know, him and Pogba, who else is out of contract this summer? You've got a few out.
Juan Mata as well.
Yeah.
And Mr. Signot, Edinson Cavani.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anybody wants to learn how to go from a hero to a villain, you just have to look at his tenure at Man United.
Yeah.
From being adored to being abused. And rightfully, I would say rightfully, because he has started pulling off Coutinho, doing a Coutinho at Liverpool.
Do you mean he substituted him?
No, just what Coutinho did to force through a move.
No,
every time,
pulling him off.
Yeah, every time there's a international break, he's fit, and then he comes back, and my little pinky has a little overgrowing of nails. I can't play. Oh, my hairs are too long. Oh, my hairs are too short. Bugger off.
It is frustrating for Man United supporters, though, isn't it, at the moment? You've got a lot of bad eggs at that club. Same as Everton for me. You're looking at a rebuild taking 5 years before they're going to be challenging again, United, for me. I know they'll probably be top 4, maybe top 6, but for Man United, that's not good enough.
Okay, I don't know what you guys are planning to do this, so let's just, if you guys will allow me to take control, then let's just do a quick rebuild of United, or maybe like a year, 2 years into the process. Who you would like to keep, who would you like to bring in, who would you like to sell, or let leave, or loan, or whatever.
Go on then, give us your view on that. Who would you keep? Who would you bring in?
No, let's just go position-wise, and I would, because I don't want to influence you guys or anything with my...
Well, I was just thinking, didn't Mata get a new contract already? You said he was out of contract.
No, I don't think so.
I need to check that, because I'm sure I remember reading he got a new contract, maybe he just got offered one. Because I remember a lot of moaning on the site.
Yeah, I remember that, Trish, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, I'm sure... Let's see
that was only a few weeks ago, or about a month ago, that he got offered a new contract. So they said. And to be fair to the man, I'm not his biggest fan. But he come on the other day, and he played the other day, and he was probably the best player on the pitch for United.
No, it is out this season. It is out the end of this. But they were definitely saying
this morning that he was offered. I think the morning was more because he was offered an extension last season, but he has hardly played this season at all.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he probably just got offered one, but he hasn't signed it yet. That was what they would decide to offer. I mean, I look at it, The first thing you need to sort out is your goalkeepers. You've got 4 of them. Why have you got 4?
No, Chris. We've got 4 senior goalkeepers. There's a big
Yeah, that's
difference.
what I mean. 4 senior. Why have you got 4 senior ones? You've got 2.
So, okay, goalkeepers.
2
De Gea,
veterans.
Dean Henderson, Tom Heaton, and Lee Grant.
Well, I mean, why is
Who would you
Grant
say?
even
Who would you
there?
keep?
Well, Grant has to go. He's shit. End of. He's
Oh,
shit.
he-
He's not,
And he's not playing at all. He
No.
doesn't play. Never.
No, he's got to go. He's the one you get rid of, and you keep Heaton as the third choice for the rare occasions. The question
What do you
is,
do with De Gea and Henderson?
well, this is it. If Ten Hag wants to play out from the back, he needs Henderson to play rather than De Gea, because De Gea can't do that. And
But he's been very underwhelming as a keeper,
Yeah, but-
Henderson, hasn't he?
yeah, but United haven't played well when he's been, so it's a bit difficult to judge him, isn't it?
Oh, he hasn't stamped an authority on his position. He hasn't made himself undroppable.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny.
No.
When you've got a goalkeeper, you pick one and you stand by him, and that's how you make him undroppable.
Oh, but come on, you have to say. Come on, Chris, you
I
have
don't
to
think he's
give
done enough to deserve
Ole
I know.
Ole has to get whatever you call it. You can't blame him because he got COVID and then he got injured and then he had long COVID related issues. Did Henderson?
Yeah, I'm not
So
saying
that
he's-
is why he
honestly.
lost his place. So
I'm
and
just
De
saying.
Gea, for whatever reason, has been rejuvenated this season after a few.
That's because he has to face 50
Oh,
shots a game.
No. Oh no! You're back.
That's
For a second, I thought it was Abbott. You sounded like him then.
I'll take that compliment.
That's not a compliment, mate. That's definitely not a compliment. But it's true. He does get a
For
little
me,
practice.
United have got to go in for Declan Rice and Harry Kane. It'd be
Not
if I
bloody
was
hell,
in
no.
charge of
Bloody hell,
United.
no.
Not Kane.
I'd
Bloody
go
hell,
for the
no.
2 of them.
I think
No,
I'd
no,
go for the
no.
2 of them.
No, not
Don't.
Kane. Too expensive. Too old.
I would say even Rice, although I would have him as an
Rice,
ideal solution, I would say even he's becoming too expensive.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, you've got to.
You could sign
I think
you could
personally-
sign 2 expensive players like Chouameni and Nunez to solve 2 positions with what West Ham are allegedly gonna after Rice. So 2 positions or 1.
And you need a defender, most of us. Centre back. You need 2 full backs, a centre back.
Okay, let's just go position.
In fact,
Goalkeepers, you're gonna
centre-backs.
sell one.
You get rid of Liga.
Yeah.
You just get rid of him.
And then
he's
what?
39.
What do you do with De Gea and Henderson? Because
I think Ten Hag
Both
wants
wanna
to
play.
out from the back. He's going to have to start, choose Henderson and go with him and stick with him and just let him, let him build up his confidence and.
and you let De Gea run down his contract because he's gonna have only 1 season left.
You're not going to sell him. You don't
And
want to
just
pay his wages.
Oh yeah.
So you've got to
Maybe you just yeah.
I'd have
And
to
then right
Gea
back.
before him. I'd have to Gea before Henderson.
Oh,
I think
me
he's
too,
done
because-
nothing wrong this season.
And I think if you're a keeper, you should be the first thing you should be just at should be keeping the ball out of the goal.
Yeah. But your first way to do that is by helping your team keep the ball. That's one of the ways you do it, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't
Chris,
command
but
his
don't you
box.
think-
He doesn't collect, balls in. He doesn't collect anything that's crossed in. He just stays on his goal line. Yes, he makes
Don't-
great saves,
Chris,
but
Can I just say that, De Gea, right? I think he's a really good keeper. But his main job has got to be, as Deep says, is saving the goals, which he does. And his distribution is poor. But don't you think if he's got a good centre-half in front of him, that he can just give it to that centre-half or give it to a full-back who won't just pass it back to him and put him in trouble? And his distribution might improve if he's got players around him who want the ball and are comfortable with the ball. At the moment, yes.
I can see what you're saying, but it doesn't matter what team you're in. You still need the keeper to be. If you're playing out from the back, you still need the keeper to be involved because at times he's the extra man that you get past you to create space. That's how it works. You need him to be able
The
to
issue
play.
for me, sorry to cut you off, Chris.
No,
The
no,
issue is who do you get? There aren't
Exactly.
standard goalkeepers.
There's very few about. I can't remember seeing one that stands out as an option.
Yeah, because
If
the likes
we
of
go down, you can have
Alisson.
Pickford.
Oh, we're not talking about Newcastle United. Sorry, no, even they're bad.
Yeah, you can't think
We're
of
not
one.
talking about whatever the United that
Watford.
is playing in the Conference League. I would have Jordan Henderson in goal before Pickford, let alone Dean Henderson.
He's got longer arms as well. And Jordan Henderson. You can always say Luis
Yeah, but
Suarez is a
I
goalkeeper.
would rather, but being serious, I'd rather have Ilan Melier from Leeds than Pickford if we're talking about goalkeepers that are likely to be relegated.
Do you know what? I can see your point on him, but I wouldn't touch him. He's too rash. His
No, I'm not
positional
saying I
sense
would.
is poor.
Oh, I'm not suggesting him. I'm just saying he's better. He's better than Pickford.
Yeah, probably.
But then who isn't? Even Billy is better than Pickford.
I wouldn't go that far. He just feels the goal more.
You weren't
Yeah,
saying
but-
that last week, were you? When he pulled off the save of the century.
Save the century.
That's how low Everton have fallen.
Oh,
That
God.
Pickford is making the save of the century for them.
No, you've got to go in and get Oblak. You do, yeah.
He's
But
gonna
again,
be a bit similar with De Gea.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
If you're gonna replace De Gea for not being comfortable with his feet, then you can't go in for Oblak, who is at best the only argument you can make is he's untested and unproven, and at
Yeah.
worst you're gonna say he's worse than De Gea.
Yeah, it's either you either stick with De Gea or you find a keeper that's good with his feet. And Henderson could be that possibility. He is better than De Gea with his feet. You know, but if you're going to play out from the back, you do definitely need to look at somebody else other than De Gea. As great as he is when he's as a shot stopper, he's no longer the player he once was.
Well,
The
Rob's
only-
our
right line.
resident goalkeeping expert. Who do you think, Rob? Who would you have if you were a Man United supporter? Who would you have as a keeper for United? Who'd help them?
As in anyone from world football.
Yeah.
One that is gettable, because we
Well,
Alisson or Neuer or whatever, but they're
A
unlikely.
realistic target. It's got to be a realistic target.
there's only one that sticks out for me at the moment, and he happens to play for a Spanish team that wears yellow.
Who's that?
No, don't say the Villarreal goalkeeper. He's the new carrier, Sam. He's the new carrier. He'll give you that game on Tuesday.
Oh my God!
Well, the only candidates, I'm not going to let this derail. I'm really serious about rebuilding Man United. I'm hoping that one of the idiots at the club is actually going to listen to this.
I doubt it.
Oh, come on.
You never know.
Oh, come on. They're not, well, I would say they're not stupid enough, but they are stupid enough to be browsing the internet for weird suggestions. Because they don't actually scout players anyways.
What about Unai Simon?
I
Is that the
don't-
Bilbao keeper?
Yeah, the guy who has
Bilbao.
dethroned De Gea.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other candidates, I could just wheel off from off the top of my head, are Emi Martinez at Aston Villa,
None of that. No,
Yeah,
I'm
they-
not convinced.
the Atalanta goalkeeper Juan Musso.
Yeah, possibly.
He had a very good season last year with Udinese, and Atalanta are very suspect defensively, so you can't blame it on the keeper.
What about
And then-
Kobel, Dortmund? Is he any good?
He just moved
I haven't
last
seen a lot of
season.
him. Yeah, but Dortmund sell. You know what I mean? They're a selling club, so. I know he's injured at the moment, but
I think the only likely candidate who might turn out to be good is Alexander Newber at Monaco on loan from Bayern. He's made it clear that he's not going back if they're not gonna deliver on the promises they made before signing him.
Whatever
And
happened to the? Sorry.
Okay, go on, Rob. I'm almost
No.
done.
Whatever happened to the keeper from Trabzonspor? Was his name Shakir?
Oh, yeah. Ugo
yeah,
Shakir.
Shakir, yeah. Yeah, he's
Well,
Oh, well, he just won the league.
there you go. There's a few there that can you can
And I am
definitely.
almost confident in saying he was the captain.
yeah, he's
All right.
Shakir's captain, yeah. But he's
I-
26
because
as well, he's coming into his prime like Musso.
Yeah, almost the perfect age, but I've not seen much of him. I've only seen him play for Turkey, and international footy can be very iffy.
He probably wouldn't cost too much, but then again, I don't think United
But
would.
then
mind
again,
how
he
much
won the
it
league.
costs.
You have to remember, he won the league.
What about Lafont?
True.
What happened to him? He,
Alabama
a while ago,
Lafont.
he was, yeah, he was,
Yeah, he's at Nantes. He had a very good game against PSC, where he saved a penalty as well. Very recently.
I've got the man. Jose Sarr, for Wolves.
Yeah, he ticks a lot of boxes. He's a decent age, soon in the league, decent with his feet, decent as a goalkeeper. He would be an upgrade on Henderson.
He's been brilliant this season.
Yeah, but will Wolves sell?
I don't think Wolves can afford not to because they've got FFP. You know, they're on the cusp of the FFP, and they're already they're having to wait this season for the last lot to go off so they can spend more. Remember, so they might be willing. I think they'd be willing to sell, especially as they need to replace players like Traore and that.
I've got a keeper for you, Deeps. Kelleher from Liverpool. How about him?
Oh,
That's not gonna happen anyways.
He's not going to move.
And I'm not gonna say he's. I don't buy into his hype yet because being a second choice keeper and being a first choice keeper is completely different
He wants
gravy.
first team football, though. He's good enough to get first team football for a top
Excellent
side.
keeper.
I think he's a very good keeper, yeah.
He's got a
I
lot.
think he would be an excellent choice to replace Pickford in the championship.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. I think you'd be surprised. I think he's better than you believe.
Oh come on, Chris, you've lost your sense of humor. Philippines has stolen it away from you.
I like it, Deeps. I like it.
Even Billy said he would be good for a top side. Even he is acknowledging he's better than Everton.
Yeah, that's true. What's happened to you, Deep? Where did this sense of humour come from? Have you been
Oh,
away?
it's
Have
always good,
you had your bypass, you know, come back, like, you know, repair?
Or maybe just go back 6 months and run the same one. Maybe my balls are dropped finally.
I don't think so. That'll never happen.
Right, so when we can't undecided on the
The
keeper.
final goalkeeper, Billy, sorry to
Go
interrupt. Final goalkeeper I'll throw is the Benfica lad. Vlachodimos or whatever his name is. How did he do against you guys?
No, he didn't look too good at all, to be honest.
Then been this idea, just go for Ugurs and Shakir and take the risk.
I still think you better go for Sarr. Jose Sarr would be the one I'd go for.
I
I'm not
think,
sure.
I
I'm
think
just
the
not sure
least of
he
your
will be
problems
sold.
is the keeper. The least of your problems is the keeper, mate. You need a centre half.
Yeah,
You need a centre half more than anything in that side.
Yeah,
He's
that's
a centre half.
definitely the biggest
But we buy a centre half almost every year.
and they're always
We
shit.
just
but they're
don't
all
buy
out for us.
properly.
Because you
Yeah, we just
buy
don't
crap ones
scout
like
well.
Harry Maguire, yeah.
Who do you guys suggest for centre back?
Centre back.
Pau Torres.
Skriniar, Kunde. Kunde would be the one I think I'd suggest.
Oh, he's way too expensive and he has way too many suitors. You have to try and be realistic as well. It's like saying, let's go and buy Van Dijk. And I'm not saying they're the same, but he has way too many suitors.
What about
The
Pau
Kunde.
Torres?
Pau Torres. Maybe.
Jimenez of
Oh, he's going to be way too expensive. Isn't he like one of the only few players that's untouchable for Atletico?
What
And by that,
I
it
tell you,
means 125 million.
No,
Yeah.
I tell you should go and get Saliba from Arsenal. Arteta clearly doesn't want him. He doesn't like Arteta. Arteta doesn't like him. Why not buy
So,
him?
so just sack him. Just sack Arteta because this is 30 million pounds or whatever, however much they paid, gone down to rent.
Yeah, and then he goes and buys Ben White for 50 million odd on top of it to replace him. And yet you've never even given him a chance in the team. He's been playing, wasn't he player of the season
as well, isn't it?
on loan twice now.
And I think Gabriel as well. Even he was signed after Saliba.
And he's nowhere near as good either. I just do not understand what Arteta's thinking is with regards to Saliba.
Come on, we're not in that echelon. Isn't he supposed to be a genius, Mr. Arteta?
Oh yeah, because he's clearly. But I mean, for me, you go and get Saliba because he doesn't want him. So he's a brilliant centre back. He's only playing in France. It's not like he's at a top club. You know what I mean? I think he'd make a huge difference to you.
Agree. How has Tomori been doing for Milan?
No, I'm not a big fan of his, so I wouldn't. And it's hard to judge them in Italy because it's the way they play football doesn't translate well to England, if you ask me.
No.
Maybe it's just me that thinks that.
The league you go to if you want to buy ready-made players for Premier League has actually in recent times been the Portuguese league.
Yeah, very much
They
so.
seem to be able to adapt quite quickly, like from the get-go.
I think the problem is a lot of the other leagues that would adapt quickly, they're just not good enough. Like the Scottish League, there just isn't a level of player anymore there. Often. I mean, you get the odd Van Dijk, but you don't get many of that calibre there anymore. And when they do, they shine so much, you know straight away.
How much have you seen of Timber from Ajax?
Yeah, I've heard a lot about him, but I haven't actually seen him play yet, so I need to look at him. I was going to ask what Guardiola's like. One of the RB, I forget which one.
Oh, he's supposed to be mint. Guardiola, yeah. And he can
plays
cover left
left-sided.
back as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking is. And it's the same with Timber, he can play right back and left back as well, so you've got a lot of cover. What about Gueye as well of Palace, another one?
I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but he never stands out when he's playing.
I think he's alright. I'm quite impressed with him. I'd have said Nico Schlotterbeck even as well. He's another one.
Oh, he's too adventurous.
But yeah,
He scores goals from open play.
Yeah, I don't think he's suited to Man United, I've got to be honest. Yeah, at one point I would have said Konsa was looked a good player, but he seems to have gone off the boil as well under Gerrard.
Well, Aston Villa haven't pulled up many trees under Gerrard, to be fair.
No, not really. I still think the one you go for is Saliba, though. I can't see a better option out there.
There's Saliba, there's Botman who has quite a few suitors, but he's supposed to be very slow.
I'm not impressed with him personally. He always does look. He does look very cumbersome because he's a bit slow.
Yeah. And then there's Ren are doing decently well, but I don't know who plays centre back for them. There's Agued, Naif Agued.
Did you say
But I don't
Roman?
think he's ready. No, Ren.
Oh, Ren. Yeah. Sorry, got you.
Yeah, in France.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the other one that might be a useful one is that Max Kilman and Wolves.
You haven't mentioned Yerry Mina yet.
Yeah. 'cause he can't,
No, we're not.
he's
We're
like
not building a
Delph.
championship winning team, Billy.
And he can't play more than one game a year because otherwise he's out. He makes Delph look like a tough man, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know about Dale, but he does still makes Varane look like fit as a fiddle.
I've never known for how so many players these days just don't seem to be able to play consecutive games anymore. It's bizarre.
Okay, fullback.
What, left back first?
Which one?
Both.
Well, we'll start with left back first. Let's go with left back. I mean, because that's the one that's got the least options, isn't it? It's always less left backs.
And have a go at Nuno Mendes before he goes to PSG.
Nuno Mendes, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's already at PSG, isn't he?
Yeah, PSG are trying to haggle down the price. Maybe him.
I thought
There's
he was-
always gonna be Jose Gaya at Valencia as well.
Guy is Valencia captain. So
Yeah, but he only has 1 year left on his contract.
no, he's on
Remember
loan
this-
from PSG. He's already
Yeah, Nuno Mendes.
Mendes,
Nuno
he's only
Mendes.
on loan from PSG. That's what I thought. He's
Yeah,
at
on loan
PSG.
from Sporting with an option/obligation to buy
Yeah.
for 40 million, and they want to bring the price down.
Listen, you
Well,
can't replace all
I'm
your
gonna throw a
players.
name. I'm gonna throw a
You can't
name that I
replace all your
They
players.
need
You've
to,
got to
though.
keep a couple.
They
I know,
need
but you've
to,
got to
though.
keep a
David
couple.
Raum. David Raum at Hoffenheim. There's a player.
Yeah, I can. I tell you who would be good. Cucurella, Brighton one. You want an attacking left back? Cucurella would be the one.
Rico Henry.
Yeah, he's decent, but I would have Cucurella above him. He's only 23 as well.
You're not gonna get me off of David Raum.
Okay, I just think I really like Cucurella. I think he's a brilliant player. He'd be the one I'd choose if it was up to me.
Steve,
Well,
Go
Go
on,
on,
Rob.
Rob.
do you think Ronaldo will be there next season?
I don't know whether he will be, but I'm just gonna make a timely reminder that he's still the third highest scorer in the league.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, it says two things. Firstly, it says that he has, whatever people might say, he has done his bit of the job. And secondly, people were expecting a completely different player from the one he actually is. Because you can't moan about him not pressing and him not being good on the wings and everything.
No, I'm not.
Have you-
I'm not
yeah.
decrying him. I think
No,
he's done right.
I'm not having a go at any of you. But like there was at a certain point in the season there was a narrative that he doesn't press. Well, he hasn't been pressing for the last 10 years. What were you guys watching?
Yeah, exactly. He's been playing as a, standing around waiting for the ball to come for him to him. I mean, for years. It's the way he plays.
It's like if you're signing De Gea and then mourning that he can't actually pass the ball properly.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know they're like that.
He's done well for
And-
United, to be honest with you, Ronaldo. He couldn't
He's done
expect much
his
more.
bit of the job. He
Yeah.
scored goals in the league. He scored crucial goals in the Champions League as well.
And moving forward, if you were to obviously with his age and such like that, who would be some of the targets you'd be looking for to sign as a
But
striker?
Chris is
for
gonna
example?
Chris is gonna agree when I say this. He's my proof that my golden boy has already moved into St. Vlahovic. I was harping about him for at least 2 years now. Before he even started scoring goals for Fiorentina, the obvious player everybody is clamoring for right now is Darwin Nunez.
Yeah, what's your take on him?
I've not seen enough of him, and there is a question mark regarding his fitness issues and his first touch. Two things that you have to be very wary about when you're moving a player from a less physical league to a more physical league.
Yes, correct. Chris, what's your opinion on Nunez?
I've only seen him play a couple of times, so it's difficult to have a really informed opinion on him. But he did look.
Mm-hmm.
He did look like he was a Premier League type player. You know, looked like the type of player who'd do well in the Premier League. I mean, it's hard to be sure, but that's what he looked like to me. He'd be the one I'd
He was gassing out a bit by the end of our games.
Yeah, that's what worries me is his fitness. He doesn't look fit.
You can improve on that though, can't you?
Yeah, you can work on that, but it depends on whether he's capable of it. I mean, it might be that his fitness is just a problem. He might have a lower level
medical
of fitness.
issue.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It might be.
Maybe even there's something genetic about him not having the endurance.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't work on that too much.
Yeah, you can
or maybe he's just not having the proper nutrition.
Exactly. You need to look into his background and stuff.
Eating too many Portuguese tarts down in Portugal.
Maybe Benfica have the same nutritionist like us, who can't, for the love of God, figure out that Patrice Evra, who played for nearly a decade, had an allergy from eggs or something. That is how he prolonged his career when moving to Juventus. They just changed his diet because he was eating something that he was actually resistant towards.
And how about I've been seeing a fair bit of links in midfield with Calvin Phillips. What's your opinion on that?
Not too often.
Yeah, he's always on the injury table, mate.
Half the issue with Leeds this season has been his fitness concern.
Yeah.
The standout guy you go for in midfield after Rice is obviously Aurelien Tchouameni.
Is that sorry?
Yeah, Aurelien Tchouameni, the guy from Monaco. That gets linked to Liverpool constantly.
Yeah,
I mean, bloody hate it.
I wonder what's going on there because look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch Monaco. I haven't seen him play. I hear good things about him. You see the links almost daily with every single news outlet reporting that we're lining up a move. So I don't know if there's something in that. We were speaking about it the other day, but yeah, like if there's anyone who's seen more of him play want to go more into him.
No, I've only seen bits.
Almost the perfect holding midfielder for a modern team.
I think Tchouameni looks a great player.
And if we did find him, where would he?
I think he's a more complete, more rounded player than even Declan Rice. And Rice has been very rounded this season as well.
He looks a bit like Basuma. He reminds me a bit of Basuma.
So it's just say he was to come. Where would he play on either side of Fabinho, for example?
And also he'd be cover for Fabinho.
Or you could have a reshape of the formation and have a double pivot and then have maybe Firmino or Fabio Carvalho or Elliott playing the number 10 attacking midfield role. And then you have two guys in defense and then two very excellent holding midfielders in Fabinho and Tchouameni. Although I hope he doesn't move to Liverpool ever in his career.
Can't think why.
So it could be like a long-term Henderson maybe. That's what the vibe I'm getting in that in that sort of vein where, you know, Henderson's getting a bit older, is he the one that maybe they see as the one that can replace how, you know, some of the stuff he does for us?
Yes, I think that's spot on, mate.
Well, I welcome it. So hopefully he signs at the end of the season, Deeps.
Yeah, hopefully he signs for Man United.
Can't see him falling that low.
You've
Are
already
you
spent
excited?
about 800 million Deeps on the players you want up to now.
Not me. Come on.
And they
Are
still need more.
you excited, Deeps, for next season under Ten Hag?
I'm cautiously excited. The caution being that I know that there might be some teething issues.
Like getting rid of all the dead wood.
Yeah, every woods, the green woods and the dead woods, everybody should be gotten rid of.
I like it, Deeps. I like that.
That's a good one. Where did this come from? Where did this comedy element come from with you?
Being away from you for 6 months has finally cheered me up.
He's here all week. He's here all week.
That's it, he's bad. Whose idea
Yeah,
was
so
it
you've
to
got your
invite
players
you?
now.
No, there's still a right back to suggest. Come on, those idiots are probably listening. And by listening, I'm not saying they're listening now. They'll be listening 5 years from now because they're that far behind.
That's probably a fair point, actually. I've got to give you that one. 5 years is probably a bit optimistic.
Hopefully, with the progress, they will be catching up, and they won't be a decade behind, like right now.
So you're expecting, like the general consensus is there's going to be a massive clear out at the end of the season. Lots of players being moved on, lots of players being brought in. Players,
Yeah, I agree with Rannick totally. There might be up to 10 new players in the squad. It doesn't mean 10 new signings, but 10 new players. Maybe some guys are out on loan, maybe some youngsters being integrated.
Maybe Lingard will finally become a starter.
Yeah, for Southern United or something like that. Definitely not Manchester United. And probably not even going to be Newcastle United.
What about another player I was going to ask you about that seems to, you know, you have more insight on this than I would from an outsider's perspective, but Marcus Rashford.
So what's gone wrong? He just doesn't look interested.
What's happened to him?
Because, you know, he was you know, he was a superstar when he was younger. Oh, I loved him. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was going to go on to have this unbelievable career. I'm not saying he won't. He's still young enough. But whether it be at United, Manchester United, or somewhere else, from what I've seen throughout this season and maybe even leading into a bit of the last, I know he's had injury issues or something, or whatever they said he missed a period of time for. But like you said, looks completely disinterested. The game against us not too long ago, obviously you can't pin that whole loss onto him, but it just looked like he didn't want to be there.
No, he's definitely gone off the boil.
I don't know what the reason is, but like Billy said, he just has gone off the boil and completely fallen off a cliff. His form has taken a nosedive. Because remember, even with his injury, he had like 15 goals. And before that, he had 22 or 23 goals in the season.
If he'd fallen off a cliff, it's no wonder he's not playing very well. He's probably got at least a bit of a limp from that.
Do you think he's right that, all the stuff he was doing with the kids and providing food for people in the pandemic and all that, do you think that affected him? And, because...
Surely that can't have affected him in a negative way. Because he did it out of his choice, not because he He was
Yeah,
being
but
forced
What
to do
about?
everything.
No, I think.
Do you
what
think
I
he
would-
thinks there's more important things to do in life than, be a footballer? Because he's obviously a good person. The things he's
Do you
done.
not? For me, I would
Do
say
you think?
more.
Go on, Chris.
Sorry, Bill, I thought you finished. I was just thinking more along the lines of, do you not think it's the fact that Man United publicly came out and criticised him for doing this stuff? Said he should stick to being a footballer. Do you not think that's the problem is? For starters, I know he had a problem with Greenwood. We know that it's a known fact that him and Greenwood hated each other. Well, he hated Greenwood. There was problems with
Really?
Greenwood, and he was pushed out because of Greenwood was in the team. Was in the team, until obviously things came out about Greenwood. So I think that,
Maybe that's the reason why
affected
he
him to
lost his
start with. No, and there is quite a lot of thought that it was because it was him that was. There's a lot of people believe he was involved in the leaks because he really detested him, really did. Apparently.
I would too, mate. I would too.
Yeah, well, especially someone like him who's so close to his mother and that. You know what I mean? It's like, it's. But anyway, yeah. So I wonder, that could have affected him because Greenwood being put, he was being pushed aside for Greenwood basically. And then the club then came out and criticised him publicly for doing all the charity stuff, saying he should concentrate on being a footballer. Well, I'm sorry, but no, you should be saying, when the player's doing something like he's doing, they should be backing him and giving him support, not telling him to stop doing it and pull your finger out and play football. It's like, no, hang on a sec, that's more important than football. You back him. When Henderson
It's great PR for the club as well, isn't it? It's great PR for the club that if he's doing that and he's a Man United player, it's going to endear other people.
Exactly. You look at what Jordan Henderson's done in recent years. Brought himself to the forefront of all these things. That hasn't affected his game at all. That hasn't made him a worse footballer. Quite the opposite. I think it's made him, and it's brought him to the full. It's made him a more beloved character for the rest of the team, the rest of the squad, and for the for fans as well. And I think they should have been backing him and pushing him to do more, if anything. I think that's a real big. A terrible error on United's part.
Does he need to move away?
Ooh.
Maybe new coach is gonna be enough.
Maybe Newcastle, someone like that. I'm just spitballing here, but maybe for the sake of how he feels, his career, to project him to be, get back on the track that he once was. Maybe and move away. Maybe you can cash in on him. Not that you need the money. I'm not saying that, but maybe there's a source of a big sum that could come in for him. He's still young. He's English. He's still got a lot to give. Maybe it might work good in both parties.
Oh, here we are.
Come on, give him one more season under Ten Hag.
We've sunk low now. Abid's here. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel now. Alright, mate, how are you?
Alright, mate, how are you guys?
How are you, Abid? Okay?
How you going?
Have you finished
Alright,
flirting with
mate,
your workmen now?
Bill? What's that?
Have you finished flirting with your workmen now?
They were asking about you, mate.
Did you give them a
Well,
number?
at least you figured how to join in by yourself right now.
I was waiting for the
Progress
link.
in 6 months.
I was waiting for him to ask for the link.
Who's around?
There's
Try
me,
and guess. Try and
Steve,
guess who was it.
3-point Billy.
Sports always here.
It's not Doom. The Angel of Doom's not here this week, eh, Billy?
No, he's gone away for the week.
For the week.
He's taken the Everton dog for a walk.
And the bus. Where you guys at the moment? What are you guys up to?
We were discussing, as we got deep on for a change, we thought we'd discuss Man United in depth. Den Hag and that. We haven't done that, we haven't covered that, have we really?
I'll let you guys crack on then.
You don't want to jump in and tell us.
We're almost done. We're just gonna get rid of Lingard, Pogba. Definitely. Matic is going anyways.
Yeah, and Maguire.
We're stuck with Maguire because nobody's gonna pay any money to buy us. Nobody's even gonna accept 80 million to take him off of our hands. 80 million and Maguire. No.
I honestly not even sure any of the promotion clubs will take it.
What about Rashford?
Fulham are quite stupid. You have to remember this. Fulham are quite stupid.
That's true.
I'm not saying they're gonna buy him or he's gonna move to Fulham, but there's one team that is obviously quite.
No, but they'll take Phillips if they're gonna buy anybody. He's already embedded there.
I thought he was at Bournemouth.
No, but Phillips is at Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, sorry, my mistake. Yeah, sorry, I was going. Bournemouth have been. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but haven't they got that superstar centre back at Fulham? What's his name?
No, they don't. You might be thinking about Tosin Adarabioyo, but he's not superstar.
Gotcha.
And the other guy is Tim Ream. Tim Ream is a superstar in the Championship, not in the Premier League.
He's not good enough for the Championship, that bloke. He is one of the worst defenders I've ever seen in my life. Donkey is just like, no.
But he's better than the other guy. He's better than the other guy. Odoi or something they have.
Oh, yeah.
Silver and Parker.
Maybe they don't have him anyways.
It's interesting how these managerial merry-go-rounds are. Like Silver and Parker are back in the Premiership with different clubs. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe Silver's good enough to get it to do so well. Just it's bizarre.
Well, anybody that get Mitrovic
Fulham are much better.
Sorry,
Fulham are much better for the Championship.
Yeah,
Fulham are quite stuck because they're not good enough for the Premier League, but they're too good for the Championship.
Yeah, like Mitrovic. Too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree.
You're hearing it, Billy? There you have a guy to replace DCL next season.
No, I don't think
Up front you have Mitrovic and Dwight Gale. They're going to get goals galore in the Championship.
Yeah, that's a good point. They could swap him when they go past Fulham on the way down. And he'd get the guys to get them back up, wouldn't he, Mitrovic?
We could swap DCL for Mitrovic, I'd take that.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Seems a good deal, that.
I don't think so. I don't think
swap DCL for Mitrovic and Dwight Gale. You're going to get goals galore. Sadly, they will be of no use after a year.
That David overreads. He always seems to pop up with things for Fulham, but he's nowhere near good enough. You look at the Fulham squad; they're going to be in real trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, but they'll buy Shahid Khan. He owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. He knows that he's got and also they'll learn from last time's mistake as well. They know they've got to spend money.
No, he doesn't run the club. Abid Said doesn't run the club. It's Tony.
No, his son Tony does. Yeah. But what I'm saying, he must have some input at some point.
Yeah, he's gonna ask Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, and they don't even call it football.
The Young Bucks. Yeah, the wrestling, the AEW. Yeah, he's head of that as well, isn't he?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So,
and you're for the better, Trish. You're for the better.
So the guy that owns Fulham. So the guy that owns Fulham, Shahid Khan, his son
has a son.
He has a son called Tony Khan, and they've also got a wrestling federation called AEW, All Elite Wrestling in America, and it's a big deal. It rivals the WWE, and he's well involved in that. So he's definitely got his plate full with the wrestling and and Fulham. That's for sure.
The Jaguars as well. He heads up their. I think might be analytics or something to do with the numbers or whatever.
Oh well, I think Fulham will. Basically, I think they'll learn from their previous mistakes. They'll spend okay. They'll spend well, and I think they'll. I'm hoping they stay up. I like Fulham as a club.
I think they need a new manager. Silva has proven himself to be not good enough to keep a relegation-threatened team in the league.
There's no way they're going to fire a manager's taking them up to the Premiership. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's Watford's realm.
Slavisa Jokanovic is high.
Really, you'd really take Mitrovic for DCL?
Absolutely, 100%.
Really?
Well, they're going to be in the Championship next season, remember, Abid?
Yeah, we're talking about Championship, Abid. Come on. In the Championship, you would.
It'll be Leeds. It'll be Leeds that go down. Have you had this conversation?
Well,
not today, we haven't. We had it last week, didn't we?
Yeah. I just thought. Yeah, I think Leeds are. I think Leeds are a slippery slope. Like, I mean, I didn't believe it last week when you were talking about it, Tristan, but it's really. It's not the. It's. I think it's looking likely. I think Everton will survive, and Leeds will be the ones that go down.
Yes, Burnley seem to have got themselves running, but then, like I was saying earlier, their new manager bounce could end at any point.
Or it couldn't.
Need one wrong decision or one moment of bad luck to make everybody just think, uh-oh, and the heads start to drop, and then you just don't know.
But Burnley are playing okay. I've seen their last two or three matches, and they're making chances. They weren't doing that under Dyche. They're playing football. They're putting it on the floor, and they're carving out chances, which was alien to them a few games ago. So, that's going to aid them, obviously.
I thought they were very lucky, Abbott, against Watford last week.
Oh, you did?
They were 1-0 down, and they come good in late on. Fair play to them, they come good late on. But Watford had an absolute peach of a chance to make it 2-0. And the game was dead and buried then. A bit like City yesterday. But, they did... They should have beat Burnley, but fair play to Burnley. They come back and got the 2 goals, but they had a lot of luck, Burnley. I don't think they're still in the mire with Everton and Leeds.
Yeah, I got to agree with you.
Need a new manager bounce again.
That's one of those things that can work against you. Because if it ends at the wrong time, what's going on? Somebody's zipping again. Why do we always have someone playing with their zip on these freaking podcasts?
I think there is someone just nipping the white powder. I think it was more of a sniff.
It'll be Billy.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of the workmen. Maybe it's one of the workmen at Abid's house.
Yeah.
But he's got to get them interested in him somehow.
Depends where he's snorting it from, mate.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
I take it your missus is asleep, so she's not hearing this.
No, she's in the 10th grade, mate, so I'm in the clear.
Yeah. Well, wait till she listens back to it.
So what about this week's fixtures anyway? Let's get on to this week's fixtures now. Because Liverpool have got a hard game against Spurs. That's not going to be easy. What are the fixtures, Trish? Have you got the fixtures in front of you?
Brentford's at home to Southampton.
Yeah, that's probably a draw, I'd say. I'd go for a draw there. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, it could either be a draw or go either way, to be honest.
I feel it's in danger of getting dragged into the relegation battle, by the way.
Villa?
Not really.
Villa,
I don't think
sitting 13th.
There would be if Everton were any decent.
Because Burnley are playing them this week. If Burnley beat them, could they get dragged into it? Villa.
If Burnley beat
Villa have 40 points, and they have 5 more games.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
I can't remember. I haven't looked at the table.
Villa's played 33 games Burnley's played 34.
Villa, Brentford, and Southampton, they're all at 40 points and they have 6 points cushion.
How
Over
is
Burnley.
Southampton clear? Because they are truly dreadful.
Well, they just have, every season, they just have about 5 to 10 game spell where they get around 15 points, 12 points or whatever, and they have that spell twice a year and then they're just fine.
Because
Mind you,
I'm not convinced by
mind you,
that.
there is a 9-0. There is a 9-0 in the offing again.
Yeah.
You've done it 2 seasons in a row, let's make it 3.
It's been a while, hasn't it? So it must be due.
It's been a year, not a while. It's just been about a year and a half, something like that.
Yeah, that's a long time for them, though. Under Ralph.
You know what I remember about that 9-0 Leicester game? What my memory of that game was the weather was atrocious. That's the only, apart from the 9 goals, the weather was atrocious.
You've got a better
There was
memory
a
than
red
me.
card early on for Bertrand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there was
Everybody thought
another red card.
everybody thought that the Southampton manager would get fired, and they kept with him. They
And
stuck
they lost
by him.
9-0 again.
Yeah.
They done it twice.
I just don't understand how Hasenhüttl's still got his job, to be honest. The more you watch him, the more he just doesn't come across as having a clue.
Maybe
Done
he
the
might
bare
be one of the
minimum.
ones. Maybe he's one of the
Yeah,
ones
but
that
Go on, Rob.
may get let go at the end of the season.
I
I don't know, because
I
they've
mean,
given him control of everything there.
Oh, but that was before the new ownership. They have new owners, so maybe there is a chance
Yeah,
with what Rob is saying.
good point.
Yeah, but what are these teams' remits at the start of the season? What are they set up to do? I mean, does Southampton, do they think to themselves, right, when avoiding the drop is paramount, but what do? Are we going to go deep in cup competitions, finish above the relegation zone,
No,
and then
they have
go
a very
deep in
simple.
cup?
They have a very simple remit habit with Southampton. Buy young players, develop them, sell them for more money.
Yeah, so
And
why
then
would he lose his
make
job?
make
then?
sure
I
you don't
see why he'd
finish.
lose his job.
Yeah,
Because they haven't
make sure
brought
you
in-
don't finish below 17th. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
enough for
exactly,
them.
When was the last time they developed, when the only one they've developed is Ward Prowse in recent years. The rest of the
And
players
they'll-
they're bringing through
No,
are
it
just, they're
doesn't.
not
Come on,
getting
Chelsea
the
for,
team.
player
for
that
them
they
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be academy products. It can be the likes of Livramento,
Yeah,
or
but-
Walker Peters, Salisu.
Yeah, but then so what they bought is they've got like 3 right backs and they're playing 1 at left back rather than develop, rather than just working with the ones they had. When they need, I know people are going to say, yeah, but Liveramento's great and that. Yeah, but sometimes you have to say, we don't need a right back, we need a different player. Don't buy another right back.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Chris. I'm just saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just saying that's what they're doing. I'm not saying what
Yeah, but
they're
they're
doing
not
is right.
They're not recruiting well. They're not playing well. They're not managed well. They and you're saying develop young players. Well, why is Nathan Redmond still first choice if they're developing young players? He should have been shafted off long ago because he's shit.
More Shane
Right.
Long still getting game time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's never been
I
a
think
good
Deeks
player.
is right. Avoid getting relegated is their main brief, and that'll do them for the moment because they've got no other aspirations. They're not going to get in Europe. It's to avoid the drop.
I think that's the play for the season.
But I think they,
Finishing 15th or 16th, 17th doesn't matter to them.
I think they could have more.
If
They
it-
could do more though.
Maybe with the new ownership they might. They might have bigger
Weren't
ambition.
they sniffing European places last season?
No, they were top of the league when they defeated Liverpool 1-0.
Yeah, I mean,
You might remember a very teary Hasenhüttl, an emotional
Yeah, that's
Hasenhüttl.
right. Yeah. Did he
But
start
then-
crying or something?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, at times, there's nothing to stop them because there's the top half, apart from the top 2, and then you've got like the next few. There's nothing to stop them. Look, but what I mean is, there's nothing to stop them aiming for top half of the table every season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
doing what
sweet.
West Ham have done,
Yeah.
what West Ham have done last season and this, it's not
Yeah.
it's not too difficult if you have a good manager, a good recruitment, and good team ethos.
Exactly. And that's what I think they should be looking at.
Yeah, but West Ham won't build on this. They'll sell a couple of players, and they won't build on this because that's what the infrastructure is not there. The ownership doesn't make the right decisions because now they've got a position of strength, right? If they'd have bought in January, they could have quite easily got a top 4 place.
And not being funny,
I mean,
that's dithering Dave though, rather than the owners. That's the problem with the transfers. David Moyes is well known that when he built, he was the same at Everton. He did it on transfers all the time.
Yeah.
And this was always a problem. They've known they
Why
needed
so
a striker
dumb?
for years.
Why?
They've known they
Yeah,
needed a
they've-
striker for 2 seasons, but he still hasn't bought one.
But why?
And they have a young player. They have a young rising star that wants to join them, and they still dilly-dallied and gone for nothing.
Who?
Like nobody. Adam Klozek, the guy from
Yeah.
Prague, no, yeah, Slavia Prague, I think he plays for.
Yeah, because they have
He-
the Czech owner now, don't they?
No, even before that, he shares an agent with Sojek, and he's open to joining West Ham. He has the likes of Borussia Dortmund sniffing around him. Surely take a chance on him. You're not expecting him. You're not burdening him with the expectation of leading the charge for top 4. But surely, as a rotation option, it's better to have him than to have
Yarmolenko.
let me see, nobody.
Well, they had Yarmolenko because he plays as a striker for Ukraine.
Wasn't he a right winger to start with?
Yeah, he's a right
Yeah,
winger.
he is.
But he plays as striker for Ukraine, and that's where they sometimes play him up front at West Ham as well.
They never play him from the start though, so he's been a flop.
exactly.
Well, they're going to need to replace Jared Bowen. I still think he's Anfield bound.
You think so, Rob?
Salah. He's gonna
Pardon?
be the Salah replacement.
Harry's not going anywhere, mate.
I
I don't know,
Bowen.
What about what's
You don't
that?
think
I think
we'll
we
want
got
Bowen?
Diaz instead.
Oh, true.
I think it's a
It's a different
midfielder we're
position.
looking at. Yeah, but like, we haven't got unlimited funds and we need other areas strengthening. And I think when we
One minute.
brought
When
forward...
we win the quadruple, there'll
Well,
be funds for.
Yeah, but you still not unlimited funds, mate. You've got everybody's still, the COVID thing is still hitting everybody.
I think there'll be.
Still
I think there'll be a
you
lot of
still owe
changes
money to
outgoing.
Wolves. You still
Yeah.
owe money to Wolves for Jota and to Bayern Munich for
And
Thiago.
FSG.
I think there will be a lot of outgoings. Let's look at the outgoings. I mean,
Make him have Jordan back, mate.
what about this guy, the Monaco French kid that's heavily linked? Is there
Chimeni.
real?
Already talked about him.
Yeah.
What was the? Because it's a heavy links, but I don't see any credence to them at all.
Well, we've watched him a lot, so...
But he's
Well,
plays
but
the
then
same
again, Chris,
position as Fab.
then again, if Liverpool aren't watching him, then you would be questioning the whole scouting system because he's a damn fine player. He seems to be one of the best players in his position in the world already.
Right.
So
But
you have to expect.
hasn't he redefined his position? He used to be a defensive midfield, but now he's got more offensive now, and he's added
No.
that to his game.
No, he's a bit like Declan Rice for West Ham this season. He's still a holding midfielder that, when given the opportunity, contributes in the attack as well. But he doesn't shy away from his first and more important duties.
I don't see the. I mean, I hope it happens, but I just don't see why would they spend 50, 60 million on a player like that when we have Fab. But we need somebody like that because when you strip it all away, there's not much there in that mid. That's one position that needs strengthening.
But you can change, like Beach was saying earlier, you can alter the formation to play two holding, or he comes in to give Fabinho rest,
Fabinho
or he
rest.
plays in front of
Yeah.
them. You know,
But where have
he's-
these stories come from? I'm sorry, I know that you
Watched
might
him.
have you talked about it ad nauseum.
Because we've watched
Um,
him so much. You know, and
And is that evidence that we've watched him, or is it just speculation, media
No, they
speculation?
know. The scouts know exactly. You know exactly who scouting do. They declare. They have to declare when they go into. You know that they're scout. You know the scouts go in and they go in on the specific scouting day. You know ticket thing.
Gotcha.
So you know when you go. You know when you go to a game, you'll know there's 40 scouts in the ground. Say. You might not know who they're watching. But you know, there's say 40 scouts and who they're representing, who they're looking at for, which clubs they're working for.
Hasn't he said that he wants to go to Real Madrid?
I don't know.
Sort of.
But they've got Camavinga now as well, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
he's
they
a
have
good player.
Modric, who is, however good he may be, he's
45.
about to be 36. They've got Cruz, who never had legs to even lose his leg, and even Casemiro is almost gonna be 13 years time, I think.
Am I the only one that doesn't rate Casemiro?
I'm not the biggest fan of him.
I don't think he's a player that's worthy of the trophy cabinet he has.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say that much.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good, but he's he amazes
He's
me
a
for what he's done.
He just suits the team, like the whole midfield.
I see what you mean, Tristan, where, like, Thiago, you think he deserves his accolades, his decorations, and his
Well, I
trophies.
mean,
like,
you know, when you
because
look at the role he plays, he's not that special at it. He's not one of the best in the world, though people claim he's the best. I've seen people claiming he's the best in the world as a defensive midfielder. I'm sorry, he's not even. I wouldn't even put him in the top 20.
So you're thinking that he's not...
He's not even the best Brazilian defensive midfielder.
No. Well, you know who that is.
Yeah, Fabinho. But he's.
Oh, yeah, Fred.
I was going to say Fred.
I'm Fred. Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry. God, I completely forgot he was Brazilian because he's so unlike a Brazilian when he plays.
Are we still there, mate?
What, mate?
Yeah. You any input?
Not on Camavinga, no.
Oh, yeah, well, you can't
doesn't
talk
know
about
anything
Europe,
about
can you,
Champions
mate?
League,
Being an
yeah.
Everton fan. Got nothing to say.
If you want to know about the Hurahan, Billy would know more about Hurahan.
Well, where's Hula?
No, Connor. What? The guy on loan from Aston Villa.
Conor Hurahan.
Yeah, Connor Hurahan.
Hey, Billy, can you imagine if you get relegated? That season ticket's going to be way cheaper, isn't it?
I haven't had one for about 10 years now.
really?
Give mine
You
away.
could go watch a game for £5, couldn't you, next year?
No, they're going to
I'm waiting until the new stadium gets built, and then I'll get a new season ticket. And
You'll never get one. All the glory hunters will be, you know.
Well, all 25
the prawn
of them.
sandwich brigade.
Yeah,
The prawn sandwich brigade.
it's going to be the best stadium in the world. That Premier League.
Yeah. It's going to be the best stadium in King's Dock, maybe. And even that will be dubious.
When you opening up, mate? When's the stadium opening up?
3 years,
My God.
but I think it'll be before. Have you seen the progress? It's fantastic. I don't know if you've seen the progress. Absolutely brilliant stadium. Yeah,
It'll be the best. It'll be the best stadium ever in League Two.
Oh, I was gonna say League One, but this is hard.
I hope it happens.
He has a bit of mouth on him today.
Yeah, it's amazing what 3 points does, eh, Deep?
Yeah, I'm a bit more hopeful than I was this time last week. I must be honest. I
You're
thought
not
we
going
put in
down,
a
are you?
Billy, it must suck that Watford were leading 1-0 and then Burnley had to win when you when you manage to actually beat a good team like Chelsea of all the week.
Yeah, we're more used to beating Man United than Chelsea's, to be honest with you. We look for bad teams to score against.
The funniest thing in that game was when Pickford made those 3 wonder saves or whatever it was, and he puffed his chest
Save of the
out.
century.
It was so funny.
It
was so
funny. It's hilarious.
He just makes them look difficult. That's why they look like they're great saves.
Yeah.
I see somebody describe it as the best save since 1970. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was better than that.
I think he meant, unless he meant 90s. No, I can't even think of anything he could have meant.
Oh, he could have meant...
No, he meant there was 1,970 better saves that fucking weekend.
Could have done, yeah.
In the Premiership, yeah.
We done all right,
De Gea made
actually.
55 of them. Each game, didn't he?
What's that, Billy?
I said we done all right against Chelsea. The players played for the shares, and that hasn't been happening this year. But
do you think
fair play to them.
Do you think Chelsea sort of just didn't turn up though? Do you not think they look like they've got nothing to play for, have they? They've got
the season was over. They're on holiday. They are all on holiday. Yeah, I agree with that.
Which
but,
they have a massive rebuild on their hands as well, to Chelsea, especially in defense.
Yeah, they're a shambles.
Yeah, because
they're
Rudiger's
running out of bodies, let alone quality.
No, but they've got Chilwell back next season, so they've got that.
But he doesn't play centre back.
So yeah, they need 2, 3 maybe.
It's bizarre.
Maybe even 4.
It's bizarre they've allowed so many to run down their contract at once and sold Guay and people like that, rather than just said, well,
Tomori.
Yeah, rather than saying, well, these are running low on contract, let's sell these ones and keep the kid, and give at least one of the kids a go. I just don't get the Chelsea attitude lately. They just
this week I was just thinking to myself, surely they would have been better keeping Guehi and then loaning out Trevor Chalobah instead.
Yeah, but Deeps, you overestimate. They're such a badly run. They're obviously a badly run club. They've got all the money in the world. Did have, but they're a badly run club, and this is what the new owners have got to come in and address. They've got to do. I mean, I never thought I'd say that FSG is probably one of the best run clubs in the Premiership. It's not worth world football. It has to be.
No, it's not that they're badly run, mate. It's that they're run to the wrong. They're run for the wrong idea, their wrong game. Their aim is to buy, they buy all these youth players, have this great youth system, and these loan players, but they're built for making a profit out of them rather than producing players for the first team, and that's where they've gone wrong.
But why would they? But that's just one facet, though, right? But the oxymoron is
they kept way past the time they should have been gone, because they could make a small profit out of loaning them out.
But why would they not want to? I don't understand. With the club of their stature and their history and their financial resources, why would they want to run a profit? I mean, obviously they want to run a profit, everybody does, but why wouldn't they want, their aim should be the first team to be successful?
Yeah, but they were thinking along the lines of their design is they make a profit so they can buy better players for the first team. That's how they're looking at it.
They want to buy a Havertz.
Yeah, the Havertz.
They want to buy a Havertz every year by
Werner, things like that, rather than producing a Havertz and a Timo Werner. That's why.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that they want to buy success. No issue with that whatsoever. But what they've got to get, then that means it's imperative and paramount that you get the first team coach decision correct. So that's where they failed, obviously, since Mourinho. Probably.
Tuchel's definitely not the right man. I can't see him lasting much longer because the style of play is abysmal.
I hate to do this, but I have to say it. I told you so.
That's all right.
No, but Tristan. No, Tristan. I remember Tristan saying the same thing as well. I mean, that he's an impact manager. He'll come in, do a great job for a season or two, and then that's it. It'll be downhill from there. I remember that vividly, and I hate to say he was right, but
I don't hate to hear you say it. Say it again. Go on. I want to hear it one more time.
I know you live for my approval, Tristan, but
that's all I want in life, mate. All I want.
I know my approval.
Will Conor Gallagher go back to Chelsea this year?
He's gotta go back.
He looks a player, doesn't he?
He would be an amazing signing for Everton. That would be a great signing for Everton. He might get lost at Chelsea, but
come on! He can do much better than Championship.
They can't sell Gallagher. That'd be insane to sell Gallagher.
But you wouldn't put it past them, will you?
No,
with your track
it
record.
would be insane.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see him rot on the bench for a year and then itching to get a move.
I just can't. I can't understand
because they're stuck with this fascination about Jorginho, and Kante is Kante. You have to play him when he's fit.
Surely Jorginho has to go.
Yeah, but it all depends on it.
We've been saying it for 4 seasons, and he's been there for only 3.
And for some reason, the media loves Jorginho. I don't get it. What am I not seeing? I just don't understand it.
Which one was Sarri's best? Sarri's love child, was it Jorginho?
Yeah, Jorginho.
Jorginho.
Sarri took him everywhere.
Not everywhere, just the 3 clubs. He couldn't get into the Juventus.
But
because they got rid of him much earlier than he could get his.
Where's Sarri now?
Stamp on the team. Lazio.
Where are they in the league?
5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around 7th.
And Roma? Where are Roma? Because
5th.
5th. Wow.
That's how low.
Do you watch a lot of Serie A, Deeps?
Sorry?
Do you watch a lot of Serie A?
No.
Okay. You Google a lot.
I could tell you that Tammy Abraham has about 20 goals for Roma this season.
That just goes to show
you
the defending in the Serie A.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be terrible. Tammy Abraham can score goals.
Imagine what Mitrovic would do there.
Yeah.
Maybe
there'd be a statue. So,
50 goals a season.
He'd never pay for a bowl of pasta again in his life, will he? Jeez, man.
Well, come on. Serie A has the top scorer whose name spells immobile. He is immobile and he's the top scorer.
The irony.
And he is very immobile as well, that's the thing.
But
he
does have quite...
as his manager, agent?
No, you're thinking of Icardi, and he has had a breakup already, and he's at PSG, so...
They fell apart
back
and got together within like hours. After she
and then fell apart again. Oh, Chris, they fell apart already, come on.
Yeah, and then they're back together
turned
again.
into a national gossip column.
When you turn
Sorry?
It's turned into a gossip column.
Oh, because we had a loose woman like you on the show.
How the hell do you know about loose women?
Oh,
Step into my world, dude.
Oh, come on, Rob, you could have said get out of my dreams and get into my car.
I don't like this. I don't like where this is going.
Oh, it's wrong. Come on, Abby. Surely you must have heard it.
Getting on to the weekend. The biggest game in Liverpool's season on Saturday. Tottenham Hotspur. Where's that going?
They've got 15 fit players. We'll murder them. We'll annihilate them.
You think so?
You never know with Conte. Conte might just resign after the game, or Conte might actually get them to defeat Liverpool. You just never know.
Yeah. Depends what
Billy, don't
Spurs turn up, I guess.
No, depends
think
what
it's
side of
gonna
the
be
bed
a
he
close
wakes up on.
You what?
I think it's going to be a really close game now. I think Tottenham can be anything. And I think they've got two great players in Kane and Son. And I think
Kulusevski is quite good as well. Sorry to interrupt, Billy. Kulusevski is quite good as well.
That new lad.
Who?
Yeah,
The
Dejan
Swedish
Kulusevski. Yeah, Swedish guy. He's quite good as well.
Yeah, he's
Surely, Juventus are quite mad to let him go.
He's being used these days.
Because they
Listen,
spent
Rob, what
quite
do
a
you
fair
think of-
chunk.
I don't think there'll be a problem, to be honest with you.
I think it's going to be probably the hardest game we're going to play in the league until the end of the season.
I'm with you, Rob. I'm with you.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a tough game, but then what Spurs are going to rock up? Are you going to have a Spurs that lost to Burnley, or are you going to have a Spurs that beats Man City, for example? So it's hard to pick.
See, Liverpool are coming off the back of a hard game midweek against Villarreal, especially the first half. But all the travelling and the they played midweek. It's not going to be an easy game. I think they're going to be a bit tired, and I think there could be an upset on the cards there. Might be a draw, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Liverpool whatsoever.
It's one of those games that this stage.
I think completely. Bill, I don't think it's going to be an easy game, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a stroll in the park, but I think we'll beat them 2-3.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I really do, and I'm normally quite nervous and cynical about when we play, but I just think that we've got this. He's got them. Klopp has got them psychologically in this nirvana that is. It's just priceless. You can't buy it.
Yeah, they don't look like getting beat. But this is the hardest game that they're going to face in the running. If they win on when they on Saturday or Sunday, they play.
Saturday.
But Bill,
Saturday.
he's got them like. You're a boxing man, Billy. You remember Steve Collins, that fighter? Remember when he fought Nigel Benn? Right.
Yeah.
He was hypnotized, right, into believing that he would beat. Well, that's what they said anyway.
That was Chris Eubank. That was what he told.
Oh, was it Eubank? Yeah, that's it.
That was what he told it to get to Eubank's head. That was all.
Yeah, Eubank's head, but he had them. That's what Liverpool are now. They're Liverpool in that zone where they think they can't be beaten, and the opposition are fearing them. I have absolutely no doubts that we won't lose a game till the end of the season. I firmly believe that. I think I've never seen a team so in this kind of transfixed in this zone of nirvana that you cannot be beaten. And I think that's not down to one man, obviously Klopp. I really do believe that we're going to go on and win that quadruple. I don't think Chelsea are going to pose a problem in the cup final. And I think that unless City don't drop a point, we will win the league. Sorry, if City drop a point, I really do think that he's got them in that kind of frame of thinking that you are unbeatable, you are unmovable. I really do believe that.
Don't you think that's a dangerous place to be? Is that a dangerous place to be where you don't think you can get beat and it could happen?
No, but I think they back it up with how they play. I mean, they look what happened against Villarreal. Like, we got destroyed first half. We're like, oh my God, what is this? Second half, we stopped their press. You know, we started playing football. But I think we've got that in-game IQ to change it within the 90 minutes. It doesn't. We're not like, oh, we've lost this game, we won't win the next. It will be okay for 45 minutes. We've got destroyed. Something's got to change, or the season's over, kind of thing. That quadruple's over. So I think we can change it within the game, within the context of the game. So I really that's why I believe Tottenham won't be an issue.
Oh, right, that's very confident of you there.
No, and it's listen, football. You know as well as everybody. You know as well as anybody. football is part physical and part psychological. And when you played football, I mean, for example, I remember when I was not to obviously any great standard, but when we had our good players were out, you feared it, right? You feared losing because your right back was out and the left wing was taking the piss out of him, kind of the substitute or the person that came in. So you knew when you're confident and psychologically you're up for it and you're in the zone, you feel you're unbeatable when you got your best players out there.
Oh God.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I just don't think it's going to be as straightforward as what you think. I think it's going to be a really, really tough game, and it wouldn't surprise me if it ended up a draw. I think Liverpool are fantastic. I think Liverpool are fantastic at the moment, and as you say, they don't look like getting beat. But that can be a problem in itself. You don't think you're so superior to the other teams you're playing.
You're talking about superior. I'm glad you said that, Bill. That moves me. Sorry, guys, I'm cannibalising the conversation a little bit, but I just wanted to say this about that. So you just mentioned superiority. I said when I was editing yesterday, I think that we should go into the European Cup final with a superiority complex. The one we went into in 2017, we went there with an inferiority complex because we had one man. We were a one-man team with Mo Salah. We are now, 4 years later, a much, much, much better side, littered with world-class individuals. And we should go into that team with respect, but we also should go into that final with humility and respect, but we should also go in thinking we're the better side and we could beat these lot. So this is where...
I think you will. I don't think that's in doubt. I think you're going to win the Champions League. I think the one is the Premier League. It's going to be...
But that's not in our hands, Billy.
No,
that's
it isn't.
Not in our hands.
In order to be, you've got to win it. You've got to win every game, basically, to win it.
I think we will, and
I think
don't think we will.
I think this week could be a bit of a game changer. But
okay, I hear you.
I hope you win it. I honestly hope you win it. But this week against them, they can be anything. They can be world beaters, when they want to be. And they've got players to do it. They've got Son and they've got Kane who can hit you. And Liverpool aren't used to getting hit.
But we've got Alisson, Thiago. Sorry, Rob. Sorry, go on, mate.
No, I was just going to quickly say that, it helps when you've got Harry Kane being able to do whatever he wants to do, going studs up on you, diving in the box, getting given what he wants. So that's another thing we've got to watch out for.
Here come the excuses even before the game starts.
Mate, from what I watched last time, when he went studs up in the 14th or 15th minute, any other player that wasn't the captain of England would have been sent off that game. And that's still today. And that double hand shove in the back on Thiago in the box, which you don't even need to have a pair of eyes to see that was a penalty. So that still burns me, because if that draw, I'm pretty sure we drew that day. If that draw turns into a win, there's 2 extra points. I'm sorry, but I'm still dirty about that game.
A penalty, mate. Is that what
imagine how Everton feel then, because they're like Man City.
Yeah.
A situation with that penalty against Man City, that's cost them.
Well, that could cost Liverpool the league, and Everton
the Premier League. Exactly, Billy. Exactly.
And that's just rank. It's
amateurish.
Well, it's not even amateurish. It looked. I can't see how they couldn't possibly have seen it. And the only thing you can think when you see them making that decision is cheating.
Yeah.
I really can't see any excuse but to say that's match fixing.
Yeah, I would go as far as saying that is probably the worst single piece of officiating I've ever seen in my life. It can't get worse than that. You've got 54 monitors showing you from different angles that ball, the guy handballed it. I mean, it's not even. I mean, that's Stevie Wonder fucking.
It's not even a benefit of a doubt one, is it? It's not one of those where you can't from any angle see why you didn't spot it.
Cannot think of a single incident that is more blatant than that.
Yeah. Anyway, before we go before we go on to Man City and Belgium, how about we talk about the relegation battle quick before we, because this is obviously a bit of a change from the Liverpool. Now we go on to the relegation battles. We've got Burnley, Villa. Villa looking poor.
But Burnley are no great shakes. They could come a cropper against Villa. I fancy Villa to win that, to be honest with you. After seeing them against Watford last week, I think Villa will do that.
That could go either way, I think, because Villa aren't very good either.
Surely Gerrard isn't going to want his side to help in any way. Let's make Everton stay in the league. He might he might just pick the under 12s to play against the physical side of Thursday.
I think I'll pick the women's team for that match at the.
No, the women's team will probably play better. So what about? So we think. What about Arsenal Leeds? I mean, Arsenal are terrible as well. I mean, I don't know. I just don't get Arsenal. How they've got such good results, because their performances are always terrible. And yet somehow they pick up
Spurs
results.
and United
sometimes.
didn't want to get fourth place, obviously. It was crazy. Spurs should have been home and dry by now. They had about 11 games where they had about 4 or 5 games in hand, and they just messed up week after week after week.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Arsenal are such a poor side.
Arsenal are just what their name suggests. They're arse.
Yeah.
They're an arse of a team. And nobody can argue, because even they have named themselves an arse.
I think Arsenal will get fourth.
What's that, mate?
I think Arsenal will get fourth. I think
I'd like them to get fourth, to be honest.
Just imagine how much they've fallen from bemoaning that Wenger used to celebrate fourth to actually now.
Yeah,
The whole side is gonna celebrate. They might even have a open top bus parade if they get fourth.
Mate, there were times when years and years when Liverpool, we were in the doldrums and fourth was like a parade for us. We would, I would. Oh, those years were horrible years.
Champions League, but that was the worst thing. We didn't even qualify for that. You got the UEFA Cup, remember?
Exactly. Oh, those were the bad memories. But yeah, talking about excuse me, Arsenal. I'd like Arsenal to get top 4, to be honest, because not that I rate Arteta or anything, but he took dogs abuse at the start of the season, and it was really maybe.
Two of the guys are here who gave him dogs abuse.
Yeah,
one is Rich and the other one is me.
Yeah. And I'm still
and we ain't backing down. We ain't backing down.
I still think he needs to be sacked if they're to go if they're to improve. They're just not a good side under him. How they can let Saliba just carry on going out on loan year after year while they spend £50 million on defenders.
But it's a results-based industry. If he gets fourth place, he'll be considered a success.
But that isn't a success when the league's been so bad this season. Other than the top two, they should have been challenged. They should have been clear of fourth by now.
So does
even Ole got lucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Even Ole got lucky and finished second.
That's my point, though, Albert. All of them haven't done what they. None of them deserve. None of them are. Their managers, all of them have got to say, hold their hands up and say, we haven't been good enough.
Yeah, but what they're going to say is that the top 2 are just so strong, and the top 3 maybe are just so strong and better than the rest. You know, that it was an anomaly of a season. So, I stick to my guns. I hope Arsenal get fourth place. No, I like the club. I think you know what? I think they get fourth place. I don't have an affinity with Spurs or Arsenal, Spurs or United. I don't really have one with Arsenal, but because of Wenger, I like Wenger a lot. He was part of my youth and formative years. So whatever. And Arteta took dogs abuse. I don't think that some of that was really bad.
Yeah,
and he stuck in there
and get a bit carried away. It must be said.
You know, and that's. I mean, Billy, you think they're going to get fourth, right? Arsenal
Yeah. I thought they'd get fourth.
I'm in between Tottenham and Arsenal. How about Rob, Deeps, Tristan? What do you think?
It's either going to be them or Spurs. Like I said last week, I'll say the same thing this week. They're both, to me, just as bad as each other. Sometimes it looks like they both purposely try not to get that fourth spot. I think on the day, Spurs are a better team. But then, like I said again, you've got Spurs that can rock up and be completely horrible. So, to me, it's not a big deal either. Whoever gets it, but they still won't be doing much next season.
But the
Spurs are the better team, but Arsenal are the luckier team.
Very much so.
You could say that, yeah.
But what about
that North London derby is going to be
on Friday?
What about Leeds though? They're playing Leeds. Are Leeds going to be dragged into the relegation battle for definite? Is this going to put them? Is this going to put them back
in relegation battle? There's no such thing as being dragged in. They're in a battle. They're not clear.
Yeah.
They're in the same. They have the same amount of points as Burnley.
The Blues have got Leeds as favourites to go down.
How quickly it changes then. A week ago, when I suggested could Leeds be dragged into it, all of you were like, nah, they're all right.
You didn't have an intelligent guy like me here.
That's true. That's true.
The only other intelligent guy was absent.
Yeah, well, that's true. We're missing the class in this one.
Let's all give Tristan a round of applause quickly. Let's get it over and done with.
Alrighty.
He didn't get any. He obviously didn't get any hugs when he was a kid. So let's give him some love.
You're right. That's what it is.
And he ain't getting any hugs and kisses now as well.
I've never seen anybody want approval so much.
Even a clock strikes twice. A broken clock strikes twice a day. There you go.
Hey, Eli, just horrible to me. You're just a bunch of bullies.
So yeah, Leeds are going to get dragged into it for sure. So, are we? What do we think?
Everton, Leicester, what do we think there? Because if
Everton are on a bounce now, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, is the dog going to be there?
But maybe Leicester won't have their eye on the game because they have Europa Conference League.
Yeah, that's today.
Semi-final to focus on, and they have nothing else to play in the league because they're not. Yeah, the game's today, so they will have their eyes on this game.
Yeah, I agree. I hope so.
Because it's the only competition left for them to play.
Oh, it's the first leg today.
That Leicester's another funny thing, though.
Oh, yeah. They have a wonderful manager. That's why. And lo and behold, somebody did tell you.
Who was that?
You are the other intelligent guy here. Oh, I've been saying this for years. Process is sight.
It's 1-1 on aggregate. I just checked it. It's 1-1 on aggregate. It's Roma and Leicester. So
yeah,
but they will have the big dogs for the game today, and they don't have much turnaround.
If they lose, though, then it's over and they're out, and they could crumble for the rest of the season, or it could give them the kick out. A bit like City, it's got so many possibilities of what it could do for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have much of a turnaround, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean 2 days?
Sunday they play.
3 days. Yeah. So you think that will benefit, obviously.
Yeah, but isn't it an away game today? So.
Yeah, but Everton have a week to get over their games, and that doesn't happen up to much.
Yeah, but they've got.
Yeah, but that's because they're Everton.
They'll be training under Frank Lampard, so that's not like it's not an advantage to have a week's training under Frank Lampard. Yeah, it's kind of like it's a disadvantage, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's better to have a wank off than to have a week off.
What?
Did he say what I thought he said?
Where's this coming
Did he
from?
say what I thought he said?
Yes, he did.
He did.
Oh God, he's going to get us taken off air.
He didn't say that, did he?
He did.
He did, yeah.
Oh!
Where is What's
And
I'm going to have to put an 18.
idiots from Manchester United is going to be listening to this in 5 years. Yeah, I did tell you.
You better, Tristan, you're off the air. You better change
Hello.
get another job, mate.
We're going to have to put 18 only on this. Adult children. Oh my God.
That's what I'm.
I can't unsee that visual now.
That's what I'm going to tell one of my staff members next time they ask for a week off.
Better to have a wank off deep than a week off. Yeah, something you can
Oh, come on, Rob, don't do that. They're gonna twist it and make it sound like a sexual harassment thing. You don't want a lawsuit.
It will be a sexual harassment thing if it's Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
What the other game?
just while we, look, before we go on, Rob, how tall are you?
6'2".
This is 6'2".
I was just going to say, because here, you have more trouble. They think I'm tall here, and I'm 5'8", I think.
Come on, but that's with heels.
You're
No,
Come on,
fine,
Chris.
boy.
You're 5'8" with heels.
No, seriously, dude.
You're 5'8" with heels.
The shade mirror is set so low on the wall, I have to crouch down to have a shade. Because the mirror is so low. I've never known. And people keep calling me tall, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Are you loving life? Your ego must be like.
No, it's like, it's weird.
You must be like LeBron James out there.
Yeah. If only I had his money.
More like Dan James, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, just imagine Rob though, trying to go in the hotel, trying to have a shave in the mirror. He'd have to go, lie on the floor to do it.
What other games are there, lads, this weekend?
It's only
You want to talk about City?
City Newcastle, isn't it? The big one. Really?
Now, Bill, that I think could be a banana skin, if there was a banana skin.
You think so, yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
This is the new oil classical.
Yeah.
And it's not
I
just,
think on that game, it's City know the fate now. They're not going in the Champions League. If they were still in the Champions League, I might have agreed with you. But this is their last chance, and they're not going to blow it. They'll beat Newcastle, because Newcastle are safe now. They've got no problems whatsoever. So City will win that very easily for me.
But don't you think that that's the reason why they might come a cropper? Because Newcastle are safe, so you can play your natural game. You can play passings that are just with the freedom. You play with no tension and no nerves, and City will be nervous.
There is one other thing to say as well, is that Newcastle, you say Newcastle got nothing to play for. Eddie Howe's playing for his, still got playing, he's still got his job there to earn.
Yeah, he's kind of
because he's only
big
there.
Period, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's not going to keep his job if they don't, if they struggle, like, you know what I mean? He's got to have a good finish to the season to keep his job for next season, otherwise they're going to be bringing in a big name.
I think Rafa takes that job all day long anyway. I think
Yeah, but
Rafa gets that job.
does Dan Ashworth want Rafa?
Yeah, but he hasn't even started yet, has he? The new guy, Ashworth?
Yeah, but surely he's going to be one of the guys in the decision making when he takes over at the end of the season.
I just think that I've always thought that as soon as that takeover went through, they'd get rid of what's his name? Who's the manager there now?
Eddie Howe. They had Steve Bruce before.
Because they want the fans on side. The fans would love Rafa to be back.
But it doesn't have to be Rafa. Maybe if Pochettino goes to Real Madrid and Ancelotti is free, maybe it would be a perfect perfect scenario
No,
for everybody.
Ancelotti's going to retire. He's already said so. He said he's either going to take the Canada job or he'll retire. So that's not going to happen.
Oh, come on. He even took Everton, so Newcastle is a much bigger upgrade. And he's going to get a much bigger pay grade as well.
He's not going to do a day-to-day club job anymore. He'll do a national team job. Well, that's it, I think. That'll be him retired. What's he got to prove? He's done everything in football management. There's nothing else for him to do.
Yeah, but just think about how much money he's going to earn.
He's got plenty money, Deeps.
He had plenty of money before joining Everton as well.
To the point, his son isn't going to get another job unless he's working.
Yeah.
Billy, remind us how his son is, please.
Well, who's son?
Ancelotti.
Oh, what a waste of time he is. The fitness coach. We're the biggest bunch of losers ever with this fitness coach.
I remember him at Bayern when the players were going off to train in the park after training. Because they were
that is why he got the sack. Yeah, that is why Ancelotti got sacked, because his son is shite.
Yeah.
You got a potty mouth, you have, Deeps. Where did this all come from?
He's got really bad, hasn't he? His balls will be dropping soon at this rate.
You watch when his voice breaks, we're in for it.
He does sound like his voice is breaking on a permanent basis, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's got that where it goes high for no reason all of a sudden, like his voice is breaking. Remember when you were a kid and he did that, like at about 12, 13? Well, he's doing it
No,
at
but
35.
that was about 100 years ago for you guys.
Oh. He's really got his, got it to say, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Bring out the best in people, Tristan, that's all it is.
Well, there's not much to bring out with you, is there, so?
Right, boys, I'm going to call it a night. I'm afraid I haven't had my tea yet, so I'm going to...
What's the meat, Bill?
It's steak, actually.
You don't need to ask him. We'll hear in a minute when he's talking to his missus, because he'll have forgotten to switch off the...
What you having, Bill?
Sirloin steak with chips. Sirloin steak with chips.
Nice one, mate. Enjoy. How do you have your steak? What temperature?
Well done.
Really?
Yeah, I really do, yeah. I don't like blood in anything.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Enjoy.
I will do. Thanks very much, boys. I shall see you next Thursday.
Guys,
Thanks, Billy.
Take care, mate. See you next Thursday.
I got to do one as well, so I'll see you next Thursday, guys.
Thanks a lot, boys.
Take
Ta-ra,
care,
mate.
Bye.
Thanks.
Ta-ra.
Bye-bye, lads. Good night.
Oh, is everyone going now then, is it? Okay.
No. I'm just saying goodbye to those guys. Those couple of them. I was going to say wankers. God.
We'll hear Billy having tea in a minute. He usually leaves it open.
Yeah, tea with Corey.
Away.
And Coronation Street in the background.
Yeah. And his missus shouting at him. So where were we? What were we talking about? We were on City, weren't we?
We're talking about the Oil Classic, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know, it depends on what City turn up. I think Newcastle will go, have got to play, they've got to try, but City, it depends on whether they're shell-shocked or whether they're responding in the right way. This is where we find out whether they're a great team or not. Because a great team fights back after a defeat like that.
And although I agree with the statement that Newcastle United don't have much to play for this season, but certainly the players and, like you said, Eddie Howe, the manager, have things to play for, because they might get replaced if they don't give a good showing. So
yeah, the whole lot is, the whole lot of them, they're playing for their futures.
Yeah, they might just get binned off if they don't perform well, even in the last 2-3 games.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on Eddie Howe? Has it changed in the last 6 months?
No, the thing was Newcastle were a better side than they showed before he took over, rather than he's actually worked miracles of some kind. All he's done is produce what they're capable of, which is a lower-end Premier League team. And that's it for me.
And Dan Burn has been a good signing for them.
Yeah, they still, but I mean, he still signed a right back when they already had 4. The club, why? When they didn't have a left back, and things like that,
What happened to Jamal Lewis?
He's awful.
From nearly joining Liverpool to not making the 25-man squad.
No, he just fell apart.
Fell off the same cliff as Rashford.
Yeah. It is a similar downfall, isn't it? Just you just look to think what's happened to him. Maybe he's fallen off the rails a bit, off the pitch. Maybe the attention went to his head. I just don't think he was that good, to be honest. I think he was looking better than he was. And the manager had the setup to suit his style of play, and as soon as it's not set up to suit his style of play, he's had his confidence destroyed because he's not been able to cope with it.
Oh, you're saying a little bit of Wan-Bissaka there.
Yeah, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, good player, but he's just not suited to the way they play. They bought a player to play a certain way, and that's not him.
Can we see Newcastle? Can we see Newcastle spending big at the end of the season?
They will, for sure they will.
Well,
they will want to make a mark.
They had 200 mil to spend before they, before worrying about FFP, didn't they? So.
Yeah, they had about 200 million to. Even under Ashley, they could, on paper, with their accounts, spend to about 200 and not fall foul of the FFP.
Yeah, literally. They'll spend big. It's just who are they going to get that's wanting to go there. That Guimaraes is a good player.
Looks a player. He looked a player even before joining Lyon.
Yeah, they got a good buy there. So if they can get players like that kind of level, you can see them moving up the table quite quickly.
Yeah, but maybe they
beating West Ham.
Sorry?
Yeah, they could do a West Ham or a Leicester.
Yeah. Well, maybe not Leicester.
Not the Leicester under Ranieri, the Leicester under Rodgers.
Yeah, they can certainly push it to the top half, can't they?
The only thing that might drag them down is they're located in the northeast. Yeah. And although I've never been to UK, I can vouch that it's gonna be frigging cold.
Well, Tino Asprilla thought he was signing for a London team, didn't he? Remember that? When he signed for Newcastle, they had him convinced it was in London, so he signed for them.
With Google, they can't pull that off now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a different world.
But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the footballers didn't know how to use the Google search button.
That's true. That's a good point there, dude. They're not exactly the brightest people, are they?
Oh, have you ever heard about this story that Ed says about a footballer who, for his life, couldn't operate a washing machine and had to ring up his agent at 2 a.m.
I know.
Who's that, Balotelli?
There's more than one. That's happened to him.
Oh, there was a footballer. He didn't know how a washing machine worked. He rang up his agent. His agent tried to explain it to him, but obviously he was too smart for his agent, so his agent had to find out a man who could go there and get his clothes dried and washed and everything.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It's quite a common problem, things like that. That's why a lot of the managers like to get their players married off, the young players. Because then they've got someone who can actually do operate things like washing machines and stuff like that, honestly. Because the players are just so clear.
Yeah, how to boil water, things like that.
Yeah, how to use a kettle.
How to boil an egg.
Yeah. Well, just don't ask Kirk Broadfoot.
Well, what happened with him?
He was the one that put, wasn't he in the microwave? He cooked an egg and it exploded. And he was ruled out for months because the microwave exploded with an egg in it. He was cooking an egg or something like that. I can't remember exactly what, but it was something. He was cooking an egg, and I'm sure it was in the microwave, and the egg exploded.
Ugh. That's unreal.
They're just not bright people, footballers, unfortunately. Did you
Yeah,
see
but
that
what do
one?
you think
That
that
one
is?
in the lower. Maybe because they're too busy concentrating on football. Did you see there was
That's
one
what I was going to say.
ruled out this week? Last weekend, like, because he'd shoved a cotton bud too far in his ear. And it got stuck in there. When they tried to get it out in the hospital with tweezers, they damaged his ear and made him dizzy, and he couldn't stand up.
I'm not gonna lie. That's happened to me once.
Divvy.
I was right when I said I am actually one of the more intelligent guys in the podcast.
It's not really saying a lot, Deeps. It's a low bar to get over, let's be honest.
Yeah, but at least I'm over the bar.
Yeah,
Lower or higher, but at least I'm over the bar.
Just over the bar.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you scored 99% or 45%. As long as nobody scored better, you're still the topper.
What time is it in the UK now?
I would say.
About 5 p.m.
What?
No, I think more.
7:15 p.m.
Yeah, 7:15 p.m.
God, no wonder I'm getting so confused. I thought it was much later than that. I can't get my time zones right. No wonder I was sat waiting for everyone to come for the podcast for so long.
Oh, I must hold my hand up and apologize for being about an hour later than I had actually promised you.
Well, I was confused because I didn't know what time that was.
Oh, when I said it to you, I meant to be about, 4? No, yeah, somewhere around 4 British time, but then it was much later.
That's alright, at least you turned up, mate. At least you turned up. And you were on form this week, for a change.
Don't get used to it though.
Though sometimes I think it was better when you weren't on form. I was taken off air to carry on like this.
You just want me to be talking about many other things except football.
We just wanted to talk about Ole because we know he's your favourite.
I've already just forgotten. Erased all the memories under him, except that we did manage to finish second.
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't forgotten that because you've mentioned it about 8 times already.
Sadly, it wasn't first, but at least it was above Liverpool, though.
Oh,
that's how you side. Yeah, we don't need to mention all the injury crises and everything. Just let it slide it under the carpet.
But what happened afterwards? I mean, you got second and you don't build on it.
Oh, but we did it to Mourinho as well. Finished second and then, yeah. That is the main issue with the Glazers.
But you still spend money.
We spend however much we want, however much the manager wants. When you don't get into the Champions League, and then once he gets us to the Champions League, it's like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Signing players the managers don't want, signing players that can't perform from the get-go, and things like that. Oh, by the way, how much, if anything, you've seen of Garnacho?
Camacho?
Yeah.
Oh, you youngster.
Yeah, the 17-year-old that got called up for Argentina.
Yeah, he looks a good player. I haven't seen a lot of him. But you didn't do, I mean, you say you didn't sell much. You spent 126 million in the summer.
Yeah, but not all the players that were needed.
Well, Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo obviously is a bit of an odd one. But, you know, you needed a centre-back. Just you needed one that could actually play.
Yeah,
you know, rather than
it didn't even matter how he played. At least he had to be on the field.
Yeah, otherwise he's just turned out to be another Bailly. But I mean, the thing was, he was known to be injury prone. But I remember on the United side when you were signing him, you know, when it was all going through, they were saying he was better than Van Dijk, and I'm like, have we actually seen him play? They were all excited about him. I don't get it. He's not that good, is he? Let's be honest.
How can you judge a player who is either injured, coming out of injury, or getting injured again?
That's enough to judge him, though, really, isn't it? That on its own says he's not good enough. Because what's the point of having an injured player? But what do you think of Sancho now? He's nearly had a full season now. Has he shown anything to you?
Really, well, I must say, he has been quite underwhelming, but he has been much better than I actually thought he would be. So that must say how little I actually thought of him.
Yeah, I remember me and you didn't rate him before he joined.
Oh, I was dead against signing him.
Yeah, I think it was only me.
Signing him, yeah. The 80 million is a lot of money even now. Even now, very few players go for that much.
Especially this last summer, when it was after the in the middle of a pandemic thing, the prices had dropped. So it seemed like it was a bit too much to me. It seemed like you were paying a premium for a player who had shown nothing to suggest he was worth the premium, in my opinion.
And even if people still think he's a good player with very big upside, the issue is United needed players for the here and now as well. Because at least in the summer that went by, you had the likes of Greenwood, who you could bank on being a better player in 2 years' time.
Yeah.
You needed the player for the here and now. Maybe Sancho is going to prove us wrong next season, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now. But then again, that would just mean that we were proven right. He's not good enough right now.
Yeah, you didn't need a player for now, and I can't understand why you weren't looking for one that was ready-made.
We could have gone for, let's say, a Rafinha, a player proven in the league. Or even Jared Bowen.
Yeah, someone like
that. Yeah, someone like that who could just do the job right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I just think it was a very strange transfer window.
And then we've decided to play him on the left wing anyway, so we're back at it with the same issue. Need a right winger again.
Yeah, very bizarre that one. Just seems to be the whole transfer system at United a bit odd.
It's flawed.
Very flawed.
There is no connection from one window to another.
Yeah, it's not built inside, is it?
Yeah, it seems like during one window there is one person doing the dealings, and the next window there is another person doing the dealings. And it seems like that one person doesn't know what another one is doing. Yeah, maybe there is a rotation policy.
or they just get rid of the one before because he's shit, so we'll bring in somebody else this time. Maybe you do a better job.
Or what is more likely is they don't have a clue about football.
That's probably closer. I think you might have hit the nail on the head there, mate.
I think maybe they think football means that whatever that they play over in the States. They call it football.
Yeah, they just seem to be buying names rather than players, if you see what I mean.
No, I completely agree. We build a we build a group of individuals, not a team. That's the issue.
Yeah, there's no thought of how they fit together. And how they work in the system the manager intends to play. They just sign in players because they're big names and they play in a position that they've decided they want.
You end up with a situation right now where you have a very good manager, but you have a squad that doesn't suit him at all.
No, that's just a mess at the moment, isn't it?
Robert is still here.
Can't see it changing into Ten Hag initially. It's going to take him years to sort it out, and the question is, will he get years?
Yeah, that is the issue. Will there be a panic if, let's say, we finish 8th?
Yeah, I can't see him lasting long. Because I just can't see them standing by him.
He has the Midas touch and then things just get turned.
Yeah, maybe you'll get lucky and, he'll have a good run and he'll get you in there competing and you'll do enough to keep him in the job for a while, like.
Arteta can, and if Ole could, then surely he could sneak a fluke as well.
That's true.
Have a
Look at the
fluke
competition. I mean, Chelsea are no great shakes.
And you don't know what's going to happen with them, with the new owners, who they're going to be, what ideas they're going to have, what the players, how the players are going to respond. And they will need a new defense built as well.
Yeah,
and Manchester United, of all clubs, know that buying defenders can be tricky.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And then you have, and you have Arteta at Arsenal, so there's gonna be an explosion next any season now. From any game, you never know. And Conte just loves to moan.
Oh, doesn't he just? He really
loves
to moan.
He makes Mourinho look a happy burger.
I like that one.
I thought he was better than Mourinho, but he's even worse, much worse.
Yeah,
he moans after a victory, he moans after a defeat, he moans after a draw, he moans after everything.
Yeah, he's never
and he's always threatening to leave.
You can't see him there next season, but I mean, PSG, is that really the answer for him?
There's always going to be that hanging cloud of Zidane as well. Surely Zidane would be one of the ways for PSG to appease their fans.
Do you think?
Yeah, he's French. And he's won the Champions League, so at least for a year, maybe 2 years, they can appease the fans.
That's actually not a bad show.
I don't think he's a good manager, but it's more about making the fans happy. Because surely they can't afford to have fans walking out after league victories.
But they didn't even
too many
wait to the
times.
end of the game, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Mbappe's still on the way to Madrid.
Well,
You would think so because the Madrid side is like Florentino Perez and Ancelotti. They're always just throwing out the quotes and there's hints everywhere.
They've been desperately trying to get him, so it looks like he'll end up there because he's always said he wants to go there. So Just not sure he's what they need.
What they need is to lose that Champions League final.
They need midfielders in that first, don't they? There you go.
Real or PSG?
Real. PSG, just, I don't know what you can do with them. Doesn't matter who they buy. I mean, they got that Hakimi.
They need to get rid of players who don't want to work. Work hard, like Neymar, Messi. They need a bit more quality and spread around the team and not just the attack. That is the issue.
Messi's been a disaster for them.
Yeah, they have a Ferrari engine, but they don't have the wheels. They run on lemon, and it doesn't work like that.
That was what they used to say about Ian Rush at Juventus. It's like having a, it's like having a Ferrari but not putting an engine in it. Because he was a good goal scorer, but he had no one to feed him the passes.
Yeah, Ashraf Hakimi is decent, Nuno Mendes is decent, but they're both very young, so they're bound to make rash decisions from time to time. And then they have question mark over the goalkeeping situation.
Who have they been playing in goal?
They have a rotation policy.
Are you serious?
And goalkeeping is one of the positions you never want to rotate.
No way.
Yeah, they have Keylor Navas and Gigi Donnarumma.
Surely you got to play Donnarumma over Keylor Navas.
And if you didn't want to play him, then why did you sign him? That would be the question, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you already have Navas.
Astronomical wages.
And humongous signing on fees, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're a bit weak in the center of defense, I would say, or PSG, and the center midfield. Neither do they have the quality or the number in both the positions.
The problem they've got is it's difficult to hold on to players to build a side. PSG, because
so many great young players have left them as well. That has been the biggest issue, if you ask me. The likes of Diaby and Kunku, they're superstars in their new team. They could do with them.
It's bizarre. They're really badly run. Terribly run. And yet they've got so much money, it doesn't matter. They'll carry on picking up trophies anyway.
Picking up the Farmers League trophy.
Yeah, but it's still it's a trophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should call it a night now because I don't think there's anywhere else we can go with this, is there? Tonight?
Still live?
Yeah, 4:30 a.m. for me, so
yeah,
time to have a nap.
Okay, take care, mate.
We're still live.
Yeah, we're live.
Bloody hell, I thought we went off air.
No.
When the two lads went off.
No, we've still been live since. No, kept it going. In case you want any more belters for us about wanking off people and stuff.
Someone, I have to take over the mantle because Rob can't talk about those things anymore. Or his wife is going to give it to
That's not what it is. You've been listening to him too much. I'm going to have to keep you two apart. You're a bad influence on him, Rob. He was a nice boy before he met you.
I'm zipping my mouth.
Yeah, so you should be ashamed of yourself, leading him astray.
Oh, it's already 4:30 over there, so he has to zip his mouth now. His missus is going to wake up any moment now.
Yeah, she'll think he's been out cruising again.
Or dogging.
He'll say he's gone to McDonald's for a coffee, but we all know what he actually means by that. Right, anyway, I think we should call that a night, so see you next Thursday. Good night, you
See you next Thursday.
Bye all.
Good night.
Right, now it's ended.